Hello and welcome back to another fantastic episode of SDS. And listen, today we've got a big one. Summer season, transfer season. So it's only right we talk about the top 25 transfers, most expensive transfers in history, according to Transfermarkt, of course. So make sure you guys stay along. And listen, I've got a very elite lineup today. It almost feels like an all-star lineup. You know, all-star weekend. Should be coming up soon as well, you know what I mean? But hey, next to me.
You got the medal itself?
Hey, of course we are. Yeah. Don't forget, SDS FC
champs.
Baller League champs.
Come on, man.
Got to parade at every opportunity. You guys can't forget, man. This is our summer. This is the summer of green.
Facts.
This is the summer of green.
They thought we were annoying before.
Hey.
It's just getting started.
It's
just getting started.
We so irritated. But, of course, before we get into the episode, make sure you guys like the video. Subscribe if you haven't as well. Appreciate every single one of you that has helped us on this journey to 300k. Inshallah, 400k soon. Inshallah. We will get there. But without your support, of course, in the comments as well, get involved in the conversation. But before we do get into this 25-man list, I have something I need to address. What did we just say? It's a green summer, right? It is a summer where these colours are going to be worn with pride.
Yes, sir.
These colours are going to be worn with honour.
Speak to them, Fuad.
And when we talk about honour,
yes,
we like honourable men.
We do.
Who honour their bets.
Yeah.
Liban, Abdullahi, Salman, Yaqub, Mahmoud.
We have something to address before we even start the episode, brother.
Yeah.
Green hair is happening. We just need to know when, brother.
Whether you like it or not.
Don't even say when. Because we've organised something for you today.
Go on.
Fuck off.
You're welcome to come in. We have organised for you to get your hair dyed in studio today. See, I was fucking with you. But he was nervous there. He was nervous.
No, I just wanted to see.
Nervous.
No, I just wanted to. You know what? You know what? Look, I just wanted to see. Do you know what it was? Do you know what it was? I just wanted to see who I'm gonna bang in the face. That's what I
No, leave it.
Who am I gonna bang in the face?
That's what I was looking. We have to address it. I'm sorry. We had a bet at the start of the season, and I was on that episode. I was the one goading it.
Yeah.
And we said, if Chelsea finish above United, you will dye your hair green.
Yeah.
And then the other part of the deal was, if United finish above Chelsea, he will go bold.
And I'm sure if it happened to me, all of you guys would have.
Bro, we would have sat him down at the final of the Ball League and shaved his head. You know, like Cameron Easy.
Yeah.
So when are you dyeing your hair? Because the people have been asking. Every episode you look at the last couple of weeks, we are honourable men on this pod. We are honourable men.
Be a man.
You must
They're speaking French.
honour. Hey,
Elias, that's your language.
don't try to deflect, Elias.
That's your language.
Don't try to pull in your United mix.
I'm just observing.
You must, Liban.
Listen. So,
Address, please. When is this happening?
First things first, why did he give me 3 of his ancestors' names? I don't know. First of all, I don't know why you gave me. It's like giving me your ancestors. Yaqub, but that's not in my. That ain't in my. Hey, that ain't in my lineage. Yeah, that's yours. Secondly, I did. I'll give it exclusive. I actually tried to dye my hair on the Baller League final day.
Oh.
But unfortunately, my barber flopped me. Don't want to mention the name because I don't want to.
Name and shame.
But unfortunately, Zans, he let me down. He let me down. I actually went to the barbershop 8 in the morning, hoping to get my hair dyed.
Do you know how perfect that would have been as well?
Nah,
you win the Ball League. It almost looks like you're celebrating the occasion.
I knew we were
going to win.
I knew we were going to win. So I was that confident. So that's why I was willing to dye my hair that day. But unfortunately, he didn't have the green dye with him. So unfortunately, he couldn't get it done. So I've got different plans. I can't reveal it.
No. But when the
but-
season ended, you still not revealing. Well, 3 weeks have gone by now.
Listen.
Liban.
There's always a plan.
All I'm saying.
There's always a plan.
That's like Triple H.
Yeah, there's always a plan. Just be patient.
Alright, can you
Just be-
confirm?
Yeah.
Can you confirm you can do it, or you will do it before the start of next season?
That's all we ask.
I will do it.
Before the start of next
Before
season.
the start of next season, brother.
It depends.
No.
Listen, it will be done. Listen, it doesn't matter when.
It could be in 20 years.
No. It will be done. It will be done this year. It will be done.
This year?
You must honour it.
No.
We didn't say when it was
Before.
gonna be.
You're not going to
say
make
when.
another appearance on this pod till your hair is green. I'm gonna make an executive decision. Sharky, you heard.
That's so fire.
But then he'll be messaging Shark saying, "Why are you leaving me out of things?"
See, listen. Look, I am gonna honor my word. Okay, and I know I'm gonna finish the story.
Yes.
The story. I will do it.
I'm
It's just, I need to. I want it to be. If I'm gonna do it, I want it to be big. I want to do it properly. I want to do it big, and I want to do it at the right time. So just be patient. It will happen.
Okay.
Just
You
just
know
trust the process.
You know what, Fez?
Ride the storm. Eric Ten Hag.
We're here again. We're here again.
But listen, talking about greed though, because obviously we're in the discussion of greed. Where the hell are we gonna get our tops? Hey! You can't be the only one wearing the.
We got the SDS. Show up to the thing, but then we go get the shirts. Fairs.
Come on, man.
Fairs.
Till you dye your hair green, you're not getting a shirt.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
Hold on. He's
I'm
been
just
making
saying.
a lot of calls today.
I call shots.
That shit's confusing him.
I call shots.
You're not Vince McMahon. You're Stephanie. Listen, you're Stephanie. You need to know your role. Hey, shut your mouth and know your role.
The worst of the line. Not even his son, his daughter.
You're the daughter. Yeah, know your role. Hey, I didn't even give you shade. I didn't even give you shade. Hey,
No, that's
relax.
fine.
But listen,
It's
gonna happen.
starting.
We haven't even.
you should be late.
The nose.
There's only one man.
Alright, let's get into this episode.
Let's go.
You guys said he will honor it, so please make sure. If he hasn't,
one more thing.
you pester him.
You see how I'm honoring my bet? I've declared that I am going to honor it. There's somebody on this table that isn't honoring a bet.
Wait.
And I don't care if it's SDS matter or not. Before you
We
even try to say
only
that.
deal with SDS matters on the SDS tables. If
But
there
can
are
I-
things
am I
happening
right to say?
outside of
Am I right to say?
four walls,
Am I right to say
you
something?
deal with that in your own
Am
time,
I
my
right to say
friend.
something though? Am I right to say that if he had lost the bet, he wouldn't have had shaved his head?
No,
just
he would've,
going
he
off.
would've.
I would.
Just
I
going
would.
off his
I would.
antics.
I would.
Just going
I
off
would.
his antics.
I would. I would.
Pinned him down and made sure of that.
So are we gonna see Faisal on the El
would.
Face show wearing a
I would be real.
Barcelona kit?
I'm gonna be real.
Mood today.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
Okay, are we gonna see Faisal wear a Barcelona shirt on the El Face show, which
No,
I'm a big
no,
fan
no,
of
no,
and
no,
I'm subscribed to?
no, no.
By the way, I'm a subscriber. Are you gonna honor me?
What Faisal do
Yeah.
and does on his channel
Yeah.
El
is it completely different to the way that's it, you know?
What
Do and does and did whatever, fam.
Hey, y'all ever seen Planet of the Apes? That could have gone left if I said it to anyone else, but I said it to Jason. I'm good here. Carry on, highlight.
That is his channel.
Okay.
This is STS. So two completely different companies.
So here you what you hear?
Here,
Yeah.
Faisal Hassan.
Faisal Hassan?
There, I'm El Face.
Okay.
Your problem is with El Face,
Okay.
not with Faisal Hassan.
Okay, but we
Huh?
also-
So how you
also
shut the
rumors-
hell up and start the video? man?
Yeah, let's get into
Okay,
this. Let's get into this.
Say that, say that.
Guys, we do have a video for
So
you.
he's got alter egos now. He's got alter egos. So he's like Spider-Man. He's got different suits. It's the El Face. Here he's Faisal Hassan, and then he has Higuain Turkey as well, which you haven't mentioned as well. Higuain Turkey as well. Don't forget that one as well. That's your new one. That's the black. That's the black Spider-Man suit.
The fact that you've become
That's a good one.
Nah, you're too dumb. The fact that you become the face of Turkey slander though fills me with joy. I can't lie.
But don't forget Rangers as well. We got Rangers here as well.
No,
Ferran
Ferran Torres.
shit, man. I can't lie.
No.
They just want to
Ferran
sneak me in
Torres.
with him, right?
Yeah. I saw that one. I was like, nah. But top 25 transfers according to Transfermarkt. Let's start with the very first one. And listen, this isn't in order as well. We've decided to mix and match it a little bit. So first one we're going to start off with. We're going to do this in tier style as well. We've got the top tier, of course, which is worth every penny. You've got the next tier down, which is good signing. The next tier down, which is an underwhelming signing. And then the last category, which is absolute flop. So every player brought up here can only be put into one of these four categories. And the first player up is Cristiano Ronaldo to Real Madrid from Manchester United.
Worth every penny, dollar,
Euro,
yen, whatever,
Yen.
yen, dinar,
Dirham.
you know what I mean?
Dirham.
Yeah, everything.
peso.
everything, wallah, everything.
Everything.
Bitcoin.
Is that one
Everything.
like a given without a
I
shadow of
think
doubt?
you can make an argument that's the best signing of all time.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Obviously,
I-
okay,
go on-
value
go on
for
this-
money or whatever you can
I know
say.
what
There's like,
I know what you're saying.
but I
but
think that's the
delve
best
on that a
signing
little
of all time, bro. Because I know they broke the world record fee for him.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, even at the time, I felt it was kind of a bargain. Like 80 million for Cristiano Ronaldo, the amount of years that he gave you, the amount of goals that he gave you, the amount of trophies that he gave you. There's literally like that's perfect. That's it right there, bro. Like.
Yeah.
80 million pounds, and he's the top scorer in your club's history. He
Yeah.
won you what? 4 Champions League? Was it 3 or 4?
Four.
4 Champions Leagues.
Three
Scored
P.
however many. Yeah, come on. This is for
Yeah,
me. It's
no,
the best
it's
signing
insane,
ever.
When he was leaving you guys, it was almost like the undisputed best player in the world as well at
Yeah.
the time.
At the point, Messi
I mean,
had just
Messi,
won Ballon
of course,
d'Or.
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
him and it was him and
Ballon d'Or as
Messi.
well.
Messi at the
But
time,
you could
yeah.
see there was almost still gears to go, and it was
Yeah.
like, yo, you're leaving United now.
And that's what hurts.
Yeah.
That's what hurts. He left at the 23 years of age. So it's like we knew his best years were
He
ahead
hadn't
of
even
him.
hit his peak.
Hadn't hit his peak, and obviously he's gone over there with the world transfer fee. Scored 450 goals, by the way, in 438 games.
More goals than games.
More goals than
Games.
games. That's unheard of, bro. Even in football, like
Insane.
find me a player in modern football that scores more goals than appearances. It's,
You know-
it's
And then
ridiculous, bro.
even the marketing as well too, the branding, the amount of
Yeah.
shirts that they honestly.
I think
this
they
is
probably
the, bi-
recouped
This
it
is one of the
in
biggest
that same
bargains of
summer.
all time.
Ever,
Cristiano
ever.
Ronaldo for 80 million pounds is a bargain.
Bro,
It's a bargain.
Raul's
100%.
transfer, his goal scoring record was never going to be broken. He managed to.
Do
He
you know
managed
what's
to break
so
it.
insane? I remember that when Raul was like the all-time Madrid scorer, Champions League as well. People
Champions
forget
League.
that. Before Messi and Ronaldo started running off of it, Raul was like the undisputed guy. And I remember his numbers used to look so fake. You're thinking, who's ever going to catch up to that?
Yeah.
The way he just almost like obliterated
In
that
every-
with style
yeah.
as well.
Yeah. In every
Incredible.
competition as well, bro. He's
Yeah.
literally the leading goal scorer in every single competition. You have to remember as well, they signed him obviously because they wanted Ledesma really badly. Okay, so he was meant to be the
face.
the marquee signing, the face that's gonna charge them
Him and Kaka.
to yeah.
Because let's be honest, Kaka at the time was
Kaka
Ballon
as well,
d'Or
yeah, 'cause- yeah. I think even someone mentioned it just off camera as well. Like they broke the transfer record that summer with Kaka, and then when I got Ronaldo,
A week later.
yeah, you know what I mean. So their mission was to get Ledesma, and he said, you know what, I'll give you Ledesma, and I'll give you another 4 more on top of
Yeah.
that. So it's
That
like,
window might still be
Yeah,
one of
it's
the best
ridiculous,
windows
bro.
of all
Yeah,
time.
Bro, we lost. Bro, his promise. He said after 11-12 missing the penalty, he said, trust me, I might have let you down now. Like, Decima's coming home.
Yeah.
2 years later, he managed to get
At
home.
that time, though, it would have been looked at as like, are you though? 'Cause
By the
Madrid
way,
kept choking
by the
in
way,
Champions
by the
League
way,
as
he's
well.
fortunate. Yeah, 13-14. I reckon if we didn't win it, Paris was gonna the Galactica era number 2.
I remember
would
there
have
was
ended
talk
it.
about Ronaldo leaving around that.
Ending it
period.
like, especially after not winning the La Decima. But
Yeah.
bro,
Well, listen,
What
worth
player?
every penny. First player in
Before we
that
go, do you
category.
remember where you were, what you experienced? when
I was
Ronaldo
in
left?
my history class, year 9. Mr. Woman, I still remember this.
This is
Bro, it's crazy.
Man
I
can
still
recall it.
I can
I
recall
remember
it to
that.
every
Yeah,
single
yeah.
detail, bro. Because he was teasing me for weeks about Ronaldo leaving. So he was saying, he was like, Ronaldo's gonna leave, and I was
Yeah.
like, get out of here, man. He's staying at my club. And then I remember mid-lesson, he just stopped the lesson, bro, and just to announce, Ronaldo's gone. and he looked at me. I remember he looked at me because he wanted to see the tears come down my face. I can't lie to you, he was a bastard, but he was a really nice guy.
What about you? Where was
Very
you in
good.
that
I
news, bro?
remember this is so we go to Algeria every other summer, right? And we're basically packing our car, like putting the luggage in the back seat
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
to go
yeah.
to the airport. And these times, obviously, I don't have Sky Sports on my TV. We don't have Sky Sports. The only way you find out about transfers those days, well, for me, you go on BBC.
Yeah.
There's a tab sport. There's
Yeah.
a tab
Transfers.
football,
Yeah.
and then you get the transfers.
Yeah.
over
Yeah,
there. That's
yeah,
the only
yeah,
way I
yeah.
find out
Same.
about signings.
Yeah.
And my dad, like, we're all packed up and ready to go. He comes out of the house like to go, and he's like, Cristiano Ronaldo just went to Real Madrid, and I wasn't like up to date with like rumors and stuff. I was like, whoa, what the hell? What the hell just happened? And I'm just thinking to myself, like, I remember telling him this. Oh, we still have Rooney and Tevez. Bro, Tevez left like a week later. Damn. Bro, I'm in Algeria.
And he went
this
Man
is all
City
going
as
down.
well, that's the
I'm
worst
thinking,
thing.
bro, what the hell's going on here, bro?
And then what did
I
you
was
get? You got
devastated.
Bebe, Owen, and
Obertan,
Grant. or
Obertan,
something like that.
Obertan.
Yeah, Obertan.
No,
Yeah.
Obertan, Owen, and Valencia.
Yeah,
I was like,
Valencia. That's
and I was and when I found out I was in Iraq, I was in
I
Iraq.
thought you were in Denmark.
I was in Iraq, and then and then breaking news, on Al Jazeera. You know what I mean? Al Jazeera.
Hey, the timeline is.
It's not adding up.
The story
It's not adding up. It's not adding up.
We'll move on. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Cristiano Ronaldo, first player and worth every penny. Next player up, Declan Rice. Of course, 100 mil transfer from West Ham, which at the time was an incredible amount of money. What do you guys make of him? He's been there 2 years now. Of course, had the Champions League campaign of a lifetime this year.
Yeah.
That was hard to say.
I'll say good signing.
I say good signing.
I think he's definitely been very good for Arsenal since he's arrived. Obviously, 100 million for DM obviously got a lot of scrutiny, which is understandable. But I think he's proved his worth at the club since he's arrived there. I think he's been in that midfield a staple for them. And he could potentially be worth every penny if they deliver the Champions League or Premier League.
Yeah.
So no one really questions his. I think he's been so good that no one actually questions his transfer fee anymore.
I think that's the biggest.
That's a sign
of like, if you're worth the money or not, because people very quickly stop talking about your fee the minute you start performing. And I've always said, if you deliver, the fee just becomes. Moises Caicedo this season. How many times did you hear his fee mentioned?
Not much.
And those are the type of signings I feel like he falls
every
under.
penny you have to like. Because you're spending 100 million pounds. Like, you can do a really good job. And the job that you're doing is still not worth 100 million pounds. 100 million pounds for me is like, that's why for me, he's a good signing. No doubt about it. He's been a great signing. But worth every penny for 100 million pounds, you have to be like.
What would he have to do?
Bro, I don't even know. For a player of his position to be worth 100 million pounds.
I think is what he said. I think because he's almost come in there and now, let's be honest, 2 years later, he's one of the leaders in the dressing room. People are calling for him to be captain. I think if he's one of those kind of guys at the forefront. When they win that title or if they deliver that Champions League, I think that's when he becomes almost like worth everything. Also, take into account, it's like he's played multiple roles, I feel like, as the breaker in the six, but then he's played in the box-to-box role as well. It's like, I feel like he's done as much as he can, but the winning part is now where if he has a major input in the winning...
It's not that he hasn't done as much as he can. It's just like, for me, again, it just goes back, and I think you said similar, like for a player of that profile, like a midfielder, a ball winner, we're talking about Caicedo and Mbappe as well too. For them to really like vindicate every single penny of over 100 million pounds, you have to go like above and beyond what I would normally expect for a player of that position.
Is that like an unfair tax?
It absolutely is unfair, but that's what you're getting for 100 million pounds.
You've basically got to do a Rodri and deliver a Ballon d'Or.
But why
would worth 100 million pounds? Yeah, you have to give me a season, or you have to like show me something that because those kinds of players don't usually go for that much. So, because in my opinion, the way I kind of look at it, it's like. Maybe not Declan Rice per se, but like what Caicedo has done at Chelsea, kind of skipping forward a little. He's done a great job, but I don't think the job that he's done is worth 100 million pounds. I think you could find a player
that could do the same job,
for like 60 or 65. Like someone like Ronaldo scoring 400 something goals.
You can't find someone.
That's what you pay for that kind of money. In my opinion, it might be harsh, it might be unfair, but that's
I think also the way I look at it is that Declan Rice. I think with DMs as well, there's not a lot of top quality DMs around the world. So sometimes as well, I look at how many players in his position can really do what he's already doing at Arsenal, and I don't think a lot of players can. So I understand why they paid 100 million for him, and I also do think he's actually delivering the performances that Arsenal wanted him to do. So I think, like for example, this season he scored those 2 free kicks in Real Madrid. Had they gone on to win the Champions League, that's
getting Ballon d'Or.
It's not even a conversation. That's worth every penny. You know, but it's the
fine
fine margins.
Why are we talking about even every worth penny, bro?
Yeah.
Like we have to worth every penny, worth every penny.
Can't get words out, bro.
What do you mean every worth penny?
Every worth penny.
What does that mean?
We're talking about now. We're talking about him being next to Ronaldo potentially. Nah, bro. I'm even looking at good, and I'm looking at.
Okay.
No, hear me out.
Tell that it's a podcast. Make your case.
Hear me out.
Yeah.
I think you guys are saying, if he leads Arsenal to a Premier League champion, then it's a good signing.
Yeah.
What's the gap? That's why I look at some of the players here. We're now predicting. We're not predicting what they're gonna achieve. And we're gonna base it on what they're gonna win.
Yeah.
I find it harsh. I'm not saying Declan Rice is going to win. If he wins the Premier League, that means it's a good signing. Just base it on the money and the player. Forget what he wins.
Yeah, even the money and the player.
I don't see it as a good signing.
Why not?
Whoa,
okay.
Money and the player.
Why not?
I think of 100 million, this is what we said earlier about Ronaldo thing. I look at 100 million plus. What can you give me? X factor. What can you give me to make me win everything?
He scored 2 free kicks against your team.
That's it.
No, but
for 2 years, that's it.
Nah, that's unfair though. Then you're saying basically only attackers are what we're going to
That
don't make sense.
Yeah.
Bro, a game is 11 different positions, bro. Yeah. You can't just say, just because the attackers get me the goals, that's the X factor. So basically, no defensive players can have X factor whatsoever.
You tell me in the last 2 years what Declan Rice has done.
I'm not saying he has X factor.
Hear me out. Don't tell me, okay, what he's done. What has he done that is worth 100 million? Not, I think is what you said earlier about Caicedo. 60, 70, wallah, I respect it. 100 million, what is he worth? He's done to reflect 100 million. Go on.
Okay, so in his time, how long has he been also 2 seasons now, right?
2 seasons.
Okay, in the 2 seasons, could you name me 3 midfielders in his position that have been better than him?
What, in the world or in the league?
And just
in
in
the world,
Europe.
I can definitely name him.
In Europe.
Sure.
I'm talking about that in
Because
terms
the
of
thing is, he
performance.
doesn't really play as a defensive midfielder.
No, but I'm
if
just
we're being
saying,
honest.
just
He's
saying,
like a-
just saying. In
But that's what I
general,
said, he
I'm
covers
saying,
multiple
give me
positions.
Right now.
three names that have performed better than Declan Rice has for
In
Arsenal
the 2 years.
in the 2 years.
Pedri, Jude.
No, but Pedri.
Vitinha, Joao Neves, Barella,
Pedri in
Joshua
over the 2
Kimmich.
years hasn't been as available
Fede
as
Valverde.
Declan Rice. Let's be honest, he has to play as much.
Pedri, the last 2 years. This year he was completely available.
This
this
year,
year.
but last 2 seasons. I'm talking about. Yeah,
Bro,
but last 2 seasons.
this year's played every single game.
No, wait. We deviated. You said he's not a good signing.
I didn't.
Please,
I never
explain that to me.
No.
Because we just skipped past that like it was nothing.
If that was a category between, it's underwhelming, the third one.
Yeah, it's
If
underwhelming.
that was
That's what you're saying, essentially.
If that was a
I think
category,
he's just been fine.
I think it's been fine. For me, good signing is someone that's come in and
He's delivering
contribute
good
for-
performances.
Yeah.
bro.
Yes, I think he
He's
has
been
done that, though.
consistent.
Yeah, I
He's
think
been
he's
one of the
done
leaders in the dressing room.
But no, I'm looking at the players next, and some of them are good signing to me.
Let's put him here for now at good, and then
Okay,
if we
okay,
disagree,
cool.
Fuad,
Okay.
Are you okay with good?
I'm.
But are we allowed? Can we all agree as a collective?
Yeah.
Later on, we can move players up and down.
Yeah, 100%.
At the end,
Yeah.
right at the end.
We
Alright,
will do
alright,
that.
for the time being, put him good.
Yeah,
Because
I
he's
think-
going down soon or like.
You're out
You know,
at the moment.
you set the bar already because now there's a lot of players coming.
Bro,
That's my point.
I hope he's consistent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I hope you're consistent with
That's
what
my
you're
point.
saying.
I'm trying to be fair here.
And the next person
Let's
up.
move on. Let's move on.
Let's
Let's move on. Paul Pogba to Manchester United.
Yeah.
Where are we going with this signing? Now, obviously, two United
No,
fans.
I would love
We've
to
got
hear
the-
from Hazel
let me hear
first.
El Glaze here.
Yeah. Ogle's gone.
How much was he signed? How much was he
89
signed?
Relax.
89
Okay, first of all,
9.9 million.
put it in your pants first. Okay, keep it calm.
Tuck it away.
Go ahead, tuck it away.
89
Hands on the
million.
table where I
Yeah,
can see
see it. Hey, lift it. Why is the table lifted? Why is the table lifted?
Whoa.
Hey, hold on. 89 million? Okay. I'm not gonna give you the love huge. I'm gonna give you normal Faisal. Good signing.
Hold on, so you wanted to put Pogba above Declan Rice?
Above Declan Rice.
Now break that down for me.
Above Declan Rice. Above many players there. But let's be real.
Are you judging this on ability? Or are you judging this on what he delivered in the 7-year spell? He's at 7 years, right?
2016 to
2022.
2022, 6 years, about 6 years.
Okay.
6 years.
He was there for 6 years. He won you guys a Europa League.
He won. Or they won.
Hold on, Fuad, you can't be disingenuous and say Rice brought them here, Rice brought them here, and then say Pogba.
I said, what did I say?
Contribute.
I said Rice has been consistent.
Hey,
That's what I
hey,
said.
No one ever wins anything by themselves.
Themselves,
But-
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, but no, please,
Go on.
please,
Let him
please,
land.
Please,
Let him land.
Be honest, by
Yeah.
please. Listen, what 6 years?
Yeah.
He's won Europa League.
Yeah.
He's won a treble. Let's be real.
whoa,
He won a treble. He won a treble there.
Stop that.
Some performances you can say it's down to him. Some performances it's down to the manager. Some performances down to the team. You guys are just cheeks the last 6 years. But he has done enough for me to reflect that I've seen more performances of him. Oh shit. That's a 90 million, 100 million. Then I've seen, oh, come on, Paul Pogba. Where have you been? 2 years, he won part PFA. 18-19 was incredible. That 18-19 where you guys finished second, it was PFA. I think he was let down.
He didn't finish second there. He finished sixth.
But no, third. No, that was one season where he won. He was
Finished second. Wait, I don't think he made the PFA player team.
That was one season. He was PFA team of the season.
2018-19. Yeah.
18-19.
Yeah.
My bad.
Sixth.
I think he was let down by the institution of you shaitans. But at the same time, I think he let himself down as well. It's a bad decision. Why are you going to the shaitans? I genuinely think it's a good signing.
Yeah,
Is he better than Declan Rice? I mean,
Okay,
You are so disingenuous.
Can I
It's not
reply?
even funny.
Can I reply? In terms of who I would rather spend that money on, if you give me both players, I think Paul Pogba is a much better player than Declan Rice. I don't think anyone's disagreeing with that. So I hear your logic in terms of I'd rather spend the money on Pogba. Like he's worth that
We're
money
not
more than Rice.
comparing that.
But in terms of contribution, in terms of returning the investment that you kind of were spent on, Pogba, the damning stat for him is, bar his first season at the club, he never played more than 30 league games at Man United in a season. I'm sorry, that's not good return on investment, bro.
100%.
That's not good.
Okay, how
For me,
about this?
Pogba is the definition of an underwhelming
Yeah,
signing.
for me it is
Someone
underwhelming.
with that level of
Yeah.
ability, someone
flip
with
it.
that level of talent,
Yeah.
who, when he goes to France, Euro 2021, whatever it was, World Cups, you're seeing him play out of his mind. Even United, there were certain games where you're just
Yeah, he had
"Oh,
moments
this guy's
where he's
one of the
unreal."
freakiest players ever.
Yep.
But to not be able to deliver that on a consistent basis, we always say availability is the best ability. You're
Yeah.
barely fit throughout the
Yeah, yeah,
seasons.
yeah.
But because you got a little cool blue streak here, I'm going to pump you up. Allow it, bro.
Yeah,
He
harsh.
is the
That's harsh.
definition of an underwhelming
No,
signing.
I
For
agree.
what United fans
agree.
expected from Pogba and what you got in return,
Yeah, it's true. We didn't
nowhere
get, we-
near,
yeah,
bro.
No, I
When
agree
you
with
signed
you,
him, you thought this was
100%.
going to be the perfect return. He's going to be the guy to elevate guys like Rashford, Greenwood, all
And
these
granted,
other
it's not
youngsters
only
around
his
him.
fault that didn't happen. There's a
Yeah.
lot, like
No, of
I
course,
do
a
agree with
lot
Faisal.
of
There's
mitigating
a lot of things that
factors.
go into it. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's no
Is
one
it-
out. No one is at fault here
Yeah.
at Man United for Pogba playing 30 games or less,
Facts.
5 seasons in a row. That's on him, bro.
But,
Yeah.
is it his fault he's playing double pivot next to Herrera?
Okay, look.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. But in terms of
Faisal. The thing is, yeah, with Pogba, and remember, we're talking about his transfer to Man United. So we're not talking about World Cup. We're not talking about
No,
pre.
just
we're not
6
talking
years.
about pre-Man
6
United
years, 6
Juve.
years.
We're just talking about strictly about his time at Man United, and did we get a good a return on the investment that we made?
No, we didn't.
And the answer to that, unfortunately, is no, we didn't, bro. And is it entirely his fault? No, I don't think it's entirely his fault. I do think the club let him down. I think also we are the type of players that played along with him didn't complement him well, didn't get the best out of him. Man United didn't get the best out of him. But also, as a man, you have to also take accountability of your own performances. And I think Pogba can, if he was to look in the mirror and he had to be honest with himself and say, did I do the best I could for
Nah,
Manchester
he didn't do
United?
everything he
He
could.
can't say, he can't look himself in,
can I ask
in
a
the mirror
question
and
to
say
both of you?
yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Question to both of you guys. 90 million, Paul
Yeah.
Pogba. What did you expect in the team that you had over the years that he was there?
Okay,
Can I tell you?
Yeah, go on.
I expected one of, if not the best midfielder in the world, playing like that regularly.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't get that.
How many times did he get it per in the 6 years?
We got it in moments.
Well, we didn't.
We
what
got it in
do you mean?
moments.
What, from Pogba?
How many
had
times in terms of-
patches.
He
Like,
had
he had
patches.
patches.
moments. I'm not gonna pretend
Yeah.
Pogba never had great. Pogba had amazing games at times, but when you're spending 90 million pounds, I'm expecting that regularly. I'm expecting match-winning
Deep it, bro.
cameos.
We spend more than we spent. Real Madrid spent on Ronaldo.
Yo,
So
what-
when you put that in perspective,
what we just
bro.
saw in the two players' analysis right now is shameless from you.
Yeah,
Bro,
no,
it's
that's
come on,
real shit.
let's be real.
and you know what the thing is with Pogba?
Yeah.
Honestly, a few years ago, I think people would have had an actually absolute flop. But the thing
Yeah.
that goes in Pogba's favor is his time at Man United actually ages better every year that he's not there.
Yeah.
Because of you look at the club, they haven't been able
standards,
to-
how they felt.
Yeah,
Some
yeah.
people that used to say, because I actually liked Pogba at Man United.
Yeah.
I might
Same.
sound like I'm a critic here. I liked him. I'm just trying to be objective. But I always find it funny when people are like, "Oh, when we get rid of Pogba, we're gonna be so
Yeah,
much
no,
better."
I
That
was never,
always
I was never, I was,
ridiculous to me.
yeah,
Because you look at
stupid.
us since
Yeah,
he
yeah.
left, we haven't been able to replace him once.
Yeah.
In fact, we've gotten worse. We're putting Ugarte in midfield. So
Yeah.
that's why he's not an absolute flop. But objectively, bro, it's an underwhelming.
I can't lie. No,
Yeah.
I can't lie. I can't lie. I hear it. Well, it's a hard case.
It's underwhelming, yeah.
It's hard. I hear it. I hear it.
Bro, you're talking to two Man United
okay,
fans,
it's
bro.
okay.
Like,
It's
who's-
okay,
who- two Man United fans. You're talking to two.
It was a hard case.
Faisal, you have to remember, you're talking
Can't win them
to
all.
Faisal, you're talking to two Man United fans. You're talking to
I agree.
two people that actually are fans of Pogba.
I like Pogba.
I like Pogba, bro, and I try to back him as much as I could. But ultimately, bro, you have to be honest and say, you
Fair.
know what, it didn't work out.
Fair.
It didn't work out,
His
bro.
biggest
We're gonna
mistake
we're gonna
anyway
put him
was
in
29.
underwhelming
Yeah.
signings for now, and then we'll move on to the next one because you were speaking about players being available,
Yeah.
but still being able to have impact. And the next one,
Uh-huh.
Mr. Gareth Bale from Tottenham Hotspur to Real Madrid.
Might be a slight hot take, but I'm putting him in worth
to
every
me.
penny. Worth every penny.
Talk
No,
to me.
It's not a hot take.
You
It's,
got a Real Madrid fan?
I'll let you start. It's well, no.
Yeah,
it's,
for me,
it's not a hot take, by the way.
Every penny.
For me, worth every penny. Because I think
Okay.
ultimately, when you're paying big money for big players, you want them to deliver in the big moments. Okay, there is probably no better player in world football that has been as clutch, in the big moments as Gareth Bale has been for Real Madrid. I think if you look at some of the big moments in Real Madrid's history, recent history, he's involved. You got the league. So for me, if he's delivering in the big moments and he's been clutch in the big moments, and every time they've needed him, he's put in the performances. That for me, that's the definition of a big game player. And for me, he's worth every penny. So
Real Madrid, they don't need you to be consistent for 30 games. They need
Yeah.
you to be there when we need you to be there.
Yeah.
In terms of just
No,
moments.
I agree.
One
Yeah,
moments.
you're right.
And he's been there moments. Like for me, that the moment that I saw, okay, this guy's ready to take the reign of Real Madrid. Without Ronaldo, Copa del Rey, Ronaldo wasn't playing. He won it by himself.
Yeah.
The Copa del Rey. Then the La Decima, he scored. Everyone looks at Ramos' goal, but he scored the second goal.
second goal.
And then 2 Champions League final 2018. Even the goal, in my opinion, the one that took us to the start of the 3P was 15-16. City were better than us in the semi-final. He was the one that led to the goal. We beat City 1-0. And just 1-0.
Can I play devil's advocate here? Because I agree, Bale for me is worth every penny. If there was a tier between worth every penny and good signing, would you put Bale there, or would you still put him at worth every
I'll
penny?
still put him at
That's what I was gonna ask
Because I think the availability over the stretch periods where he wasn't in the team.
and be honest as well.
No,
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
Now in hindsight as well, you remember all the good things, but I'm sure there would have been times when you hear he's out injured again. You're thinking, bro,
No,
you were meant to be the next Ronaldo.
And there was a point where Zidane actually
what you got with
preferred
Ronaldo,
Isco
what you were saying with the 400.
Yeah.
Genuinely, when Gareth Bale
I
left
thought
Tottenham
so.
Hotspurs,
Yeah, I thought
that's what everybody thought it was. It was
Yeah.
version 2.0. He might even be better.
Yeah.
And instead, you got him 40-50% of the times. And when he was there, he delivered. No
we
question.
got him basically for 2 years. For 3 years only. The moment he started adding muscles to his game and the injuries started to come. But I agree, if that was the category between these two, 100%. Because I look at Ronaldo and it's a pinnacle of his own. So I can't put him next to Ronaldo, but at the same time, I can't put him next to Declan Rice.
But we're judging.
No, I agree. He's worth every penny.
but I think
At the same time.
The fact that I'm here looking like the Declan Rice defender, this
at
is
the same
crazy.
time.
The thing
What's
is,
going on here?
we're judging every signing based on that signing
Yes,
specific.
that signing specific.
Stop
So
comparing
we're not
signings to
doing
other signings,
comparisons.
yeah.
We're just
if you
basically
pick Pogba, then maybe.
categorizing them based on how successful that transfer was to the club that signed him. That's it.
It's
So
a
for
success.
me, it's definitely a success. I think he's a big player that delivered in the big moments. Got them some of their most memorable recent history. You talked about that bicycle kick, one of the greatest goals in Champions League history. You got that goal against the Copa del Rey, and I still remember that game because Ronaldo was in the stands, and like genuinely, it looked like Ronaldo was watching his son play. You know the way it
Coming
looked,
of
like,
age.
watching like with so much pride, and I think that's the moment that everyone kind of
I'm more
they got a
inclined to
serious
put him in
player.
good signing. But
No,
if
no,
you
no,
are
no,
saying
no,
worth
he's
every
worth
penny,
every penny.
he's
It's worth every penny.
worth
The
every
only thing that makes it a bit is the fact that his legacy after Real
could've-
Madrid.
yeah.
What, him coming out saying golf. No, I think I think he disrespected
Wales
Madrid.
golf
He disrespected Real Madrid massively, and the fact that
He didn't own him anymore at that point.
and the fact we wanted him to leave, so we wanted him to leave 2 years before his contract ends. Like, brother, like you're not gonna be useful. You know what he said?
That shit, you're too
Man,
sensitive,
you know what he said, fam? He said, "Nah,
I'm
I'm staying here. I want every penny.
As he
I want
should.
every
What the hell?
penny.
You signed the
I want
contract.
every penny. Alright, come on,
You guys are so entitled, bro.
come on. Like, we don't want
When
you
we want
now.
you to leave, you must leave.
Yeah, well, we don't want you this time.
Put Gareth Bale in worth every penny, please.
100%.
And let's move on next to Moises Caicedo, the Premier League record transfer to Chelsea. Talk to me, where does he go? I feel
Again,
like...
if there was a tier between good and underwhelming, I'd probably put him there.
This one's a bit.
Do you not feel like this year he's maybe earned the right to be in that good signings category? Because I felt like the year before, you could rightly question him as underwhelming, maybe even...
No, I wouldn't say flop. He's a good player. He's a good
But
player.
I
that
think
performs
in terms of
regularly.
what we've seen in the past season, for me, he's been one of the best defensive midfielders in the world.
He has been.
And
Yeah,
he's almost like, as I was saying earlier, the talks of his fee never even get spoken about again. I think that's a testament to how well he's been performing. And when he's not in that Chelsea team, how different they look, even though he's been barely out of it this season. But for me, he's consistent, he's reliable, physically strong. I think technically very underrated.
You see what my thing
But
is,
the
though,
thing is, it's a typical thing I know of. He's a defensive
but hold on,
midfielder
no,
and
let me-
110
let me
mil.
land with this though, right? I do feel like there are times though, because we know how good certain players are, we hold players to different standards, right? I'm gonna go back to Pogba here, right? Caicedo has never even like touched Pogba's best level at Man United.
Yeah.
But also because he's probably never reached his lowest, we don't really look at it like that. But because we held Pogba to this level and we held Caicedo maybe to this level, we hold each of them to different standards. Like Caicedo's been good. Honestly, I think he's been good. I don't think he's been, which I guess puts him in good signing.
Exactly.
But I don't ever really watch Caicedo and think, wow, I'm watching one of the
Yeah.
best defensive. Like
Yeah.
he's good. He's a good
Yeah,
player.
yeah.
I just don't think he's 115 million pounds. I think he does a job that's worth 60.
But that's why he's not worth every penny,
yeah.
of that.
No,
but
but-
he's still a good
Like I said,
signing.
for me, if you
I think
could
he's
put them
come in,
between
he's
good
done a
and-
role
Yeah.
for Chelsea. They needed that position to be filled, and
Yeah.
he's arguably one of the most complete players in that position in world football right
He's
now.
one of the most
But
complete. I
we-
don't really think so. I think he's.
Wait,
really
what did you say?
No?
What did you
As
say?
a defensive midfielder, you don't think technically he's as...
I think
wins
he's-
the ball
I think
well,
technically
Yeah.
he's very underrated in my
I think
opinion.
he is good. He is good on the ball. He wins the ball back pretty well. I don't see him like elite at any of these attributes though. I think he's just a good defensive midfielder for me.
You know what? I think I like what he said earlier in terms of with Caicedo. I think the problem is we're judging the transfer 125 million. Was it?
It was 115, I think.
115,
Yeah,
or
around-
something.
110, 115 around there.
So
Let
like,
me
and
get
he
the
said it
full date,
earlier
get
as
onto me
well.
in the comments.
Like you could get a player like Caicedo for a lot less money.
115 mil.
You know, there are players available out there
Or
that
at least
could
to
do
do it, the role that he's doing.
Yeah, 100%. That could have done what Caicedo's done for Chelsea this season for a lot cheaper. And that's what kind of clouds my mind at the moment.
Hold on,
I look at Caicedo,
But then
and I
at
think,
the time, Arsenal were willing to pay.
I think it's so easy.
Liverpool were
It's so
willing to
easy.
pay.
No. It's so easy to say that you can get, but who?
yeah.
I mean,
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
going to say
no,
that
no,
they do
no,
the same
no,
role,
no,
but
no,
Liverpool
no,
went
no.
and got Gravenberch
Yeah.
for what, 35 million pounds, and he's their defensive midfielder.
They
and
got
he could-
locked into
Yeah,
that.
but
though,
no
let's
one-
be
but
real.
no one- but no one
you
thought-
looked, but you're missing my point here. My point here is to find someone to be a good defensive midfielder for your club. You don't have to break the bank for it, bro. That's
Yeah.
like City. One time they bought Rodri for 60. They bought Fernandinho for 35. Those kinds of players, like again, unless you're doing something so above and beyond, like Makalele, like. I don't think that role
But
constitutes
what you're
115.
looking at, the way you're judging it, for me, it's
Declan
almost
Rice?
like worth every penny. I'm saying he's not worth every penny, but he's a good signing. You can't deny that.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah,
you can go
okay,
with
but
that.
okay, for 125 million though.
115.
115. Sorry, I don't know why I keep
Keep
saying
adding 10 on
125.
top, I
Yeah,
don't
keep
know why.
adding that. I don't know why. But anyway, for 115 million, have Chelsea got a good return out of that?
Well, he's only been there 2 years.
I'm just saying.
No.
So far, no, because we looked at Declan Rice in 2 years. Yeah, and we're saying
Don't be a
that's
high
good
one. Don't be a
signing.
high one. You
We're
said
saying in the
if
2
Arsenal,
years-
if Arsenal win the Premier League, he's done well. Okay, in the 2 years, has Declan Rice got a good? Has Arsenal managed to get a good return on Declan Rice in the 2 years? Yes or no?
In terms of it is similar.
Then okay, then what?
Rice
Declan Rice has probably has
then-
more.
Rice
then-
more. That's
then
Rice has
Caicedo's
more.
got-
But
Rice for me has
me-
more to his game than Caicedo.
For me, the reason why I
It's
say
not a
that
game. It's
is
just what they've done in 2 years. It's not a game.
No, Rice is a midfielder that can carry the ball.
No, I
forward,
know.
run past
No.
players, score-
I agree in terms of the profile. I'm here talking about the signing, the impact in the last 2 years. Both of them are the same to me.
No, they're not the same. This is
So,
where this is
if
what
we
I
had to
gotta
vote
say.
now,
This is
what would
where-
you
Free kick tax, bro.
You know what it is?
Caicedo
For
had a
me-
bad
No, free kick
Caicedo
tax,
had
man.
underwhelming
Wait,
season.
what category you
For
put
me, there should be a category between good
No, there
signing
isn't.
and
There isn't
underwhelming.
one.
That's what I'm saying.
There isn't
I
one.
think
We put him good for now.
content where you're kind of
That's how I feel.
I was saying
yeah,
content.
Yeah.
It don't
Okay,
exist.
content. But because that doesn't exist, and I think it's too harsh to put him underwhelming, I would have to put him next in good signing. So
I agree.
Probably have to be good signing. Yeah.
I mean, but
You think,
Declan Rice has done it.
you think Rice has done less in the last 2 years than Caicedo has?
It's the same for me.
No,
not the same.
Rice's
They-
first
they-
season was much better than Caicedo's. Bro.
And Caicedo this season has been better than Rice. This for me.
I think they
No, for me,
No,
Caicedo.
I don't
I agree with what you said.
yeah,
I think
I don't
Caicedo
think
this season has been very underrated, bro.
No,
This
I think
season's
he
been
has.
very-
I think
he's been
no,
good.
but I don't think he's been underrated. I think he's been getting
think
folded.
Declan Rice has had in the 2 years has done a lot more than Caicedo.
He has, though. He has.
I don't think he has.
He has.
I think the 2 free kicks is clouding so people's man's judgment. Wallah, that
He
he's-
won a game in the Champions League off his free kicks, bro. What do you mean?
and he got knocked out the next
Was he
round.
not man of the match both games?
Huh?
Was he not man of the match both
Yeah,
games?
the second leg he was
It was
even better than the
even
first
better,
leg.
yeah.
Bro, Carlo
so-
Ancelotti tax, bro.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
this is always comes back to Real Madrid, bro. What the hell?
I can't lie, man. For me, both of them are good.
Caicedo can go in good.
Yeah, you can let him put him in good.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
for both.
Oh, this one.
Let's move on to another C, shall we? And that's
Yeah.
Coutinho to Barcelona.
Absolute flop.
Where
I can't lie, no.
Straight down.
I can't lie. Is that worse than category, bro?
Like, do you know what? This transfer is so bad. It actually ruined Barcelona economically. Like it just threw them in the bin. Bro.
It stinks.
Like, it actually ruined.
That should be
the
something
club,
below
like.
flop.
I don't think they even paid back Liverpool the full money
Stink.
yet. I think they still owe money. I think they still owe Liverpool money.
Stink. Barca made no
yeah.
sense.
What
I
did you
don't-
guys think at the time though when they bought it? What was it?
I thought it was good.
140
It made no
million?
sense. It made no
I
sense.
thought it was ridiculous.
I thought the
It made
transfer
no
fee was
sense.
ridiculous. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I was like, what?
No.
For
The
Coutinho.
fit made no sense.
didn't even make
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah.
You've got Iniesta.
True.
He wants to play with Iniesta.
Yeah.
Barca don't play with a 10.
Yeah.
He tried playing as a left winger. He's not a left winger.
Yeah.
He tried playing next to Messi, that free row. He's not Messi.
Yeah.
It made no sense. Profile-wise, it made no sense.
The
And-
money as
and-
well, too. It's just like- I know he was really good those last 6 months at Liverpool. Like, really good.
Bro.
But, bro, 140 for Coutinho. I was like, what?
But that's what you call almost cashing in on the hype of
Yeah.
the moment.
Yeah,
And it was
100%.
almost. And you look at the impact it had for Liverpool. They went on to win
Yeah,
the
they
Champions
fucking
League.
funded their
set them
entire
up for the next
dynasty
4
off
years,
that,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Nah, they Barca at that point. I don't know what was going on at that club.
Well,
they
that's-
were just moving.
But
crazy.
Matao-
Like,
no,
they
trust
offered.
me,
Don't
there's
forget,
the-
they offered
he
100
ain't the
million.
only one from that era.
Yeah.
Bartomeu.
Bartomeu, whatever.
Bometao.
Bartomeu nonsense, fam.
Now, trust me, he's not the only signing from that era that will be coming up. But I think we have our first entry into the
Yeah,
absolute
easily.
front
100%,
category,
100%.
and that is Mr. Coutinho. Next up, we have another Barcelona man, and speaking of that era, Ousmane Dembele. Now, of course, Ousmane today,
Different
Ballon d'Or conversations,
Yeah.
Champions League winner. It's a whole different combo.
Yeah.
That one's not a flop.
We
That one,
rewind a couple years back.
that's underwhelming. That's not a flop to me.
Barca fans agree with you. I made a video on Barcelona signing. They said
That's underwhelming.
They told me they didn't think he was in the same category as Coutinho and another guy. I don't know.
Performances. He dropped performances. This guy, when he was healthy, he was the top assister in La Liga.
Yeah, that was one season, wasn't it?
One season, but other seasons he was contributing with Messi and Antoine, and he was more consistent than Antoine. And at one point, it was Messi and Dembele rather than Messi and Suarez. Whenever he played, he was there.
Yeah.
Do you not feel like though, because at the time the bar was so low at Barcelona? Of course, you still had Messi.
No, but they bought him to replace Neymar. They bought him to replace Neymar. Bro.
I know, but I'm saying the guys like Griezmann, Coutinho, there were so many underperformers at the squad. Even your 7 out of 10 looks good. I always felt like he moved to Barcelona too early, and he was almost finding himself, and he was never able to really get fit, find consistency, and he had spells where he was very good. But they were few and far. And the frustration of that few and far is why now he's getting all the plaudits, because it's like, we knew it. We knew you was talented, and it's like now you're actually delivering on that talent you once had. But when he was at Barca, bro, he was very unserious as well.
I agree with underwhelming, I think.
But Fuad, the definition of flop is you don't there, you don't play, you don't perform, you're just non-existent, and that's Coutinho. The definition of underwhelming, you show glimpses like Paul Pogba. You show glimpses whenever you do play, but the injuries don't let you.
The consistency.
That's not to say, by the way, he was always good when he played. He was not always good when he played.
He wasn't always consistent.
For me, it was also the manner in which he left Dortmund. For kicking up a stink and being like, I need to go Barca right now.
That means nothing. That means nothing.
Hey, I'm talking about a transfer. You know what I mean? That was a transfer. This is the transfer.
I mean, nothing.
No, but it meant, what do you mean? He was at Rennes for 6 months, broke through. Went to Dortmund, which at the time was like a perfect breeding ground for youngsters. In my opinion, develop yourself there.
Well, he did. He was amazing that season.
After 1 year.
But he was amazing that year.
He was amazing. Why not do 2 years?
What, so Mbappe stayed 2 years at Monaco? He was clearly too big for that.
PSG. That's another training ground, in my opinion. Now you step to the big league. Tell him. Now you're in the big league. You know what I mean? But I felt like he jumped the gun too early, and it was almost like, listen, believe in yourself or whatever. But when you go there, you better deliver now. Man was eating Haribo's playing Call of Duty at 4 a.m.
What we doing?
I am underwhelming. I agree.
It's underwhelming. It's not a flop.
No, I'm more with.
Do you not forget the fee was 150 plus?
How much was it?
It was.
Let me just confirm.
It was a big fee.
I think it was 120, no?
I
think you might be right.
It was below Antoine.
Usman Dembele.
It was below Antoine. He wasn't more than Antoine.
Why are you saying Antoine like that? Like he's your brethren. It was 105 million euros could potentially rise to 145. Yeah. You see, but he didn't cash in on that 40. If he was good, you would have delivered something.
No, do you know what it is?
Not even the flop.
No, you did too much.
No.
The thing is, I agree with both of you. I agree with both of what you're saying. I think. I agree with the aspect of, I think he did jump the gun too early. Yeah. But I also do agree with Faisal in the sense that when he did play, a lot of times he did play well.
There was flashes of moments.
I just think he didn't have the consistency and the availability. Unfortunately,
his biggest letdown will always be the miss against Liverpool.
I was gonna say
that's the biggest one.
That's what people look at. That's what people look at.
And the fact that's one of your most memorable moments in a Barca show. It's not good. It's not good.
It's not flop. It's not flop.
Alright, you got away with this one.
Below Pogba. I go below Pogba.
He's under
Pogba.
Yeah.
Pogba had more brilliant moments.
Yeah.
Next up on the list, we have
Jude.
Bellingham.
I go worth every penny.
Can I be real? Can I be real?
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say?
Worth every penny.
I know.
Worth, if there was a category above worth every penny.
No, you would not go in that category. He's in worth every penny. Ronaldo would go in that category.
No, Ronaldo. Slow down.
Put Jude in there, blood.
Slow down. No. He's worth every penny.
Every penny, yeah.
The last 2 years, this guy exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, no shit. You didn't even want to sign him.
I said, don't bring him here. Well, I said it.
I will always never forget.
I sat here. You sat here, and Fuad sat here. I said it. Don't bring Jude. Madrid should listen to me. Alhamdulillah, they never listen to me. Alhamdulillah, they never listen to me.
Your meaty channel, man.
It's okay.
You know what it is?
Respect to Allah.
Shout out face, man.
But no, he's worth every penny. What he's done, the impact, especially his first season. If we did this last season, he would be an unreserved baby. 100%. But there is nothing bad to say about Jude and his time so far in Real Madrid
You
for the
see
past
what I
2
mean?
years.
You, like before Jude came to Real Madrid, you'd be like, oh, how can he go above and beyond? He's just a midfielder, does little. What Jude did that first season in Real Madrid is what I mean when I talk about £100 million.
Yeah, yeah.
That like it's crazy. Not many players can do that, but that's the level. That's what you get for that
Yeah.
fee. For me, worth every penny for sure.
It's crazy because that's it. That
feel
one
like-
season is enough for them
Yeah.
to be like, okay, we got our money's worth. You know,
Bro,
for
it
Jude,
feels
so.
like the time he's been at Real Madrid is almost like a movie script we're just watching at times. I can't lie to you. Like some of the clutch goals, some of the big moments.
Bro, scored
He's
in
had
two
even-
classics, winners and 2 classicals.
And
in
even
first
yeah,
season.
it's too classic. Wallah, yeah,
crazy.
and even
Yeah.
even
He
off
was
the
there
pitch.
for one of them.
And even off the pitch.
Giving it to
And
the
they-
Barca fans.
And
like
they,
that.
and they threw your,
That was
your
comedy, I
phone
can't
in the
Throw it
bin.
away as well,
They threw your phone in the bin as well.
That was no need for you to mention that as well. That was no need
You
for you
remember
to
they
mention.
Yeah, that's it. So, but it's crazy.
But
Jude.
what he's done.
It's me, look, El Vez.
Nah, I can't lie. Even off the pitch as well. What he's done, picking the number 5 shirt was a genius
move.
chess
Yeah.
move.
Ballsy
That
move,
was
yeah.
a chess move.
Jude worth every damn penny. And
Over
let's move on.
Bell, 100%.
Yes.
It's too early to say over Bale.
Over Bell, man. Over Bell.
Let the Real Madrid fan have his way.
Golf hype, man.
Go on.
At the moment, you got 3 players in there though.
Come on, man.
Yeah, they got hits.
This
They got
man's
hits.
about
They
to
got
be
hits
4.
in there, man.
It's went well.
It's about to be
they
4.
got
Went well. Let's move on next to
No.
another blue.
Hold on for a second. I thought
Enzo
someone else.
Fernandez. Enzo. They had the song. How did it go? Bring, bring, bring. Enzo Fernandez. The little Spanish guy.
I go underwhelming friends.
Yeah, same.
okay.
I was the exact same.
Why am I saying ooh? Like I'm not surprised. Yeah, of course.
I agree.
I think it's almost like a given. This one, as much as he's a good player, I don't think he's had too many good performances. He's had flashes and a few moments. What was it the free kick against Luton? Was it
Last couple of
year?
months as well. He's been.
Last couple of months he's improved.
as well.
But I think if you ask any Chelsea fan, did they expect more when he joined the club? I think
he's a very talented
99.9%.
player. I really like Enzo
Agreed.
Fernandez and what he can do.
Good player.
I just think at Chelsea, like, I don't know if they have the balance to actually fit him in.
Yeah,
because
that's
bro,
the thing. That's the
I think he's better deeper.
Yeah.
I personally think he's better in a deeper position, but I think he has to play in a 3. And they don't play in a 3; they play in a 2.
Yeah.
And now he's playing in this attacking role, and I think he's getting GA. Congrats to him, but
Yeah.
I still don't think it suits him the best either, man. I feel like oftentimes he's playing kind of like in the half spaces. He doesn't receive it that well.
Yeah.
I don't know at Chelsea how long he's gonna kind of last there. I think he might need to move.
And he's lucky, by the way, because a couple of months ago, this would have been as a flop signing. But the last couple of months, the last couple of months has managed to, you know what? Oh, fair enough.
I actually think.
I think this season he's been better.
No, but I actually think he was really good his first 6 months at the club. When he came in January, his first 6 months at the club when Chelsea were like all over the place, I actually thought he was their best player. I thought he was playing quite well.
Yeah.
It was his first full season. I was like, you're not showing us enough. That's when Cam was comparing him to John Joe Sullivan. And then this last season he was decent as well too. He's been decent, but I think he can actually do way better than he's doing it.
And you have to remember the fee that they paid for him.
I think
ridiculous
if
And
he
coming
went
off
to
the
a
back of that World Cup as well,
That's
there was
the
a
thing
lot
for
of
me.
expectations.
But bro, even
That's the
for
thing for
Argentina,
me.
still he plays really well.
Very good. Yeah.
I think he could go to a few clubs and maybe it suits him a bit better. I still think he's a good player.
That's what it is for me. I think the World Cup. I think
Atletico Madrid awaits.
Yeah, maybe.
He strikes me as a
His
Simeone player.
His club
bro.
have been quite linked heavily with
I
him
think
as well.
all of a sudden you'll see him
I
putting
think
20
for Madrid,
kilometers
he can
down.
actually do something. over
Yeah.
there.
Madrid.
In terms of what you guys need as a passer, I think I genuinely think he's one of the best passers in the Premier League.
Man, we got other good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Get him
Like,
out,
for
man.
me, you know what it is? I just don't
Yeah,
think
get
he's
him
played
out.
at the level. For me, the hype he had after that World Cup 2022, I just don't feel like he's reached anywhere near that level for club, for Chelsea.
Facts.
Since he's arrived.
That's
for me,
underwhelming.
he's definitely underwhelming, man.
Well, there you go.
But the question
Enzo
is,
Fernandez
I'm looking at
underwhelming.
I'm looking at his position. I think, nah.
No, we can decide that after.
I was thinking whether he should be above Dembele, but I was like, nah.
You can be above Dembele.
That don't really matter. To me.
Yeah.
I don't think like, when you're underwhelming, bro, just hold it.
Yeah, bro.
Just hold it, man.
Is that Harry Maguire?
Yeah.
No, it's Wirtz.
Relax.
Damn, the unction over there. man.
Tranquillo,
Y'all can't see.
tranquillo. Let's move on next. Anyway, we do have a summer signing from this summer, in actual fact, and that's Florian Wirtz
This
to
one's a prediction,
Liverpool. The record transfer at the moment, but the fee seems to be changing depending on which currency you use.
Yeah.
However, the current Premier League record signing, where are we putting him? Because I know where I want to put him.
Based on what? Are we predicting where he's gonna be?
This is almost like a prediction.
Yeah.
This is one of those videos that in 4 years' time might get looked back on and like, look at these bozos. Do you remember like Paul Mercer with Kevin De Bruyne? Cooking him, man.
Yeah.
I know where I'm.
El Phase with Arne Slot. Yeah, that one.
El Phase with Bellingham.
Yeah.
You know
that
them
one as
ones.
well, too.
It happens. You've seen
El
it?
Phase with Mbappe last week. Yeah, that one as well.
Lias,
Hey, they was killing you in that video though. They was killing you.
Lias with Jurgen Klopp as well.
I said it since last season. Quick question. How many more titles did Jurgen Klopp win after I said that? How many more league titles? Oh, no. That's my first question. Zero. How many league titles did Arne Slot win after his statement?
He said, "Is that clacking at you that I'm standing on business right now?"
Yeah, you cut
Is that clacking at you?
That accent.
That actually reminds me of him. I don't know why.
That accent.
That video reminds me of him. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you.
But so what? So we're basically predicting this, yeah?
Well, this is more of a prediction one because I think he's the only current transfer that is probably going to appear on this list today.
Spoiler.
This is a spoiler.
Is that spoiler? What's
This
this? You start us off.
You start us off, Mr. Spoiler.
Go.
When is the season finished? Florian Wirtz. Look in the crystal ball.
Hey, breaking news. Cherokee talks on Florian Wirtz.
Hey.
Wait, why are you stroking that trophy like that?
Oh, hey, this guy. Oh, I've never seen a horny guy.
What? But
This guy.
I
This guy is so
basically,
horny, bro. That is crazy.
I will be real. I don't know, man. I feel like, it's either gonna be good side. I'm still
Put your balls on the table, bro.
I got him shook, man. Honestly, he's right.
Nah, he does. He does.
Is it Westbrook? This guy. I will be real. I'm gonna go with underwhelming.
Same.
Really?
Same.
I'm gonna go with underwhelming.
I'm gonna go underwhelming.
I don't think he will reflect how much they signed him for. 130, 140. Every day changes, wallah, bro.
It's like 125, I think, from what I've read. I think it's 125.
I don't think, because I look at his position, and of course he played differently at Leverkusen, more as a 10. Liverpool don't have a 10, so they're going to change the formation to 4-2-3-1. They can change it around, I hear it. I don't know whether he will play in a 3-man midfield next to Gravenberch and Alexis. I don't know whether he play on the left-hand side for Luis Diaz. I don't know whether he will play as a false 9. I don't see him, in order for us to say it's a great signing, he needs to do a Premier League, give me a 10-10 season, give me something. With Salah there, I don't know. I feel like this will be, and again, I'm not comparing the impact, please. I think it will be like a Darwin Núñez. I feel like it'll be 2 years.
Okay, that's
I'ma see.
I'ma
see.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp because we want you all to go and get better mental health, guys.
By the way,
The link.
I hope he can prove me
use
wrong.
Elphase code 10% to get 10% off. Because what the are you talking about?
I think it's underwhelming.
Darwin Núñez is
You
not
think
That's
it's
not
gonna
it.
be Darwin
No, no,
Núñez?
no, no,
I think-
no,
I
no, no.
think-
Okay, I'm not saying.
I
okay,
think it will
again.
be underwhelming, but not for the reasons this guy just said.
What's your reason?
Mine is, I think, is expectations versus reality. I think with his fee, I think people are going to be expecting somebody to come in and get maybe like Bruno Fernandes type of numbers and get maybe 20 goals and 15 assists. I don't think he's ever been that type of player. I don't think he will.
He's
ever
got better
be that
numbers than
type-
him this
yeah.
season. But continue.
Ooh.
Wirtz.
What, I'm talking about in general?
Yeah.
How was his numbers?
There was a stat I saw the other day. I can get it out for you shortly if you
No,
like.
He's got like 10
Look at
goals,
Liverpool
bro.
Glazer.
I'm just
saying,
saying. He
he's
was
got
talking
like-
about
he's
numbers.
got
I'm
like-
just
he's got like
correcting
10
that.
goals.
You know, his numbers.
I'm
are
saying,
wrong.
but Bruno Fernandes is known for a large
His
amount
prediction is
of
gonna be better than
I'm
Ronaldo
saying,
signing.
no, but I'm saying, okay, if we talk about Bruno Fernandes. No, but I'm saying, in terms of Bruno Fernandes, my point is though, the reason why,
Bruno Fernandes
in general,
right?
I'm saying his output in
His
general,
production is
his
quite
production
good.
is quite high, you know, and I think with Florian, I don't feel like he's a player that has high output in the same manner as Bruno, but he is a player that will get the team ticking. I do think he'll create a lot of chances, and I do think he will score goals. But I just think for the fee that he's going for, I think people are going to put a different level of expectation. They're going to be expecting him to be as important as Salah is to Liverpool. That's how I look at it. I think people are going to be thinking he needs to be getting a certain, and it's obviously
But for
it's not
him to
his
do with
fault.
Salah, Salah is worth every penny. I
This
think
is
there
the
can
thing,
be a reality between worth every penny and underwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
worth every penny, it's very difficult to say.
To say,
He will
yeah.
be, that I
With
can
that
tell you.
type of
I
feet
think-
as
but-
well.
But I think good signing.
No,
he'll
I
be
think
good.
good signing is possible, definitely.
I think he will be. No, I think it's more likely than not. I think Florian Wirtz, when you look at Liverpool, because it also depends with these signings. Like we talked about Pogba, for example. What kind of environment they're coming into. He's coming into a young Liverpool team that are only getting...
Very good.
Let him finish.
It'll be a Pogba. Wallah.
Stop.
Not Darwin Núñez. It'll be a Pogba. That's a good one.
He's coming into a good environment.
Hey.
These guys are recently crowned champions, and I think they're looking to get even better and better. They're signing good players. They still have Salah. I think Liverpool are probably going to be favorites to go into the league next season, or at least one of the top two. So I don't. As long as he kind of plays at a good level, he's going to be a successful team as well too. I don't really see him being on
and the way I see
Liverpool would have to completely collapse, and he'd have to be a big part of it for me to say it's an absolute flop.
And I'm sorry,
it
I've
definitely
seen
won't be a
Liverpool
flop.
give
No.
way patient, be Liverpool fans, and as a club, for me in general, are patient with these big money signings as well. I think he's going to be given the platform to succeed.
But I don't even think like you say patient in terms of like he's gonna have to like adapt.
I don't
look at the kind of
no,
player
but
Florian
even
Wirtz
if there
is, I
isn't,
think he'll
I'm
come
saying even if there is an adaptation period, I think he's going to have that at Liverpool. Even if there's going to be critics on the outside, whether it's maybe the first 6 months he doesn't start off bursting out of the gate or whatever. I think with the quality that he has, for me, he's already one of the best midfielders in Europe right now. At Leverkusen. I think he comes to Liverpool, you're only going to be on a bigger stage. And I look at him and I'm like, bro, you are going to develop even better. You're going to be put in a better team, better positions, better managed. And in my honest opinion, I can only see him getting better. Good signing is like the base level, in my opinion.
Well, it has to be the base. If you can
of course. But I think being worth every penny, of course, people will... That is kind of more of a conversation, maybe in like a decade's time once he's left.
For sure.
But I think he can almost have the same type of impact that De Bruyne had at City.
Well,
he can become
worth every penny.
bro. Szoboszlai, I'm sorry, you've been there
Yeah,
2 years now.
50%
You've been
of that,
underwhelming in that midfield role. We appreciate all your hard work and running,
Yeah.
but how about some creativity and some goals? Wirtz can bring that. The left wing role, I think Diaz and Gakpo, neither one of them have really taken it up for grabs. He could take that. What if they decide to change their shape because they haven't been finding a line? They start maybe a diamond with Salah and Gakpo up top. That could be an option as well. I think he is going to dictate a lot of what Liverpool is going to be after Salah. And because of that, it's hard for him to flop.
Can I say this, right, for both of you guys? I find it very surprising that you guys are going underwhelming or flop. Can I tell you why, though? It's not even because of the player. But I think with Michael Edwards and his track record at Liverpool and the signing success rate that this club typically does, I find it hard to, like it's more likely to be a good signing than not, just because of the past
track
evidence.
record. Now, for me, it's just more...
If Man United made the signing, I could hear you. I'd be like, I can't lie. Underwhelming. I might be underwhelming. But
no, you know what it is? I'm not trying to say it from a hating point of view, because for me, I'm a big fan of Florian. I've been saying it for years, how much of a good player. I had him higher than Musiala when we did the list. So for me, I rate the player highly. I just think coming to the champions, you're coming for such a big fee. Now the expectations at Liverpool is you're going to help us retain this title, and that's where I put him in the underwhelming categories, because the expectations and the burden now he's going to have going into this season. I think it might be a bit too much for a young player coming into the Premier League, coming into the Champions. If he doesn't deliver or doesn't get the numbers that people have,
That's the thing.
But here's the thing.
For him
What are the
too.
expectation
is
numbers?
that obviously in terms of
10-10.
10-10? Probably maybe double doubles.
I think he gets that.
I think he can. I'm not saying he can't. I think he can. But I think if he was, let's say for example, he didn't get the double, like his numbers weren't great, but his performances were okay or were good. Let's just say in general his performances were good. Didn't get good numbers, and Liverpool don't win the title next season or don't win any trophy next season. Now it's gonna look like, oh, this is a bit underwhelming. Do you know what I mean?
Even then,
it takes that. But
that's year one.
But this is my point. So
when
we're
year two
predicting
comes,
it for
year three.
I hear it, but right now we're predicting it for from this time next year.
I'm saying,
right?
listen, when Florian Wirtz leaves, you're basically, if the day he leaves Liverpool, you're saying he will be an underwhelming signing.
No.
That's the question I'm asking.
I think there's potential. I think potentially he could be a good signing, but I think
I don't know. I think
the
it's
pressure.
underwhelming.
I'm looking at pressure, expectation.
I can't wait to spin the block on you.
No, but you know, I'm saying pressure, expectations, and obviously the fee. I'm trying to take all of those factors into consideration, and that's why I have him personally underwhelming.
All right. Fair enough. So
I mean, you guys decide. I'm if you want to put him good signing, I'm not against it either.
I will put Florian Wirtz in a good signing just to save this podcast some face. Right, let's move on. Next up, we have Neymar to Al Hilal.
That just stinks.
I think this one we can keep brief.
Yeah.
Say that again, because I want them to
He
hit.
played like what, 3 games?
3 games.
Bro.
Stinks,
If
it
that,
stinks.
Yeah, he was never available. The amount of money he was being paid a second, like.
Never
I
got
love,
it.
I love Neymar, but
I
this
respect
is.
him.
Bro, they never
This
registered.
this was business. This was strictly
and pleasure, man.
business and pleasure.
Kept
bro.
Santos in business.
Yeah,
You know what I
just
mean?
get me
brought the
thoughts.
money back to the hood.
Yeah, that's it.
Said,
That's
yeah, I'll
it.
take care of my people.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
I think it is the worst signing. of
Robin
all
Hood
time,
Stinks.
though.
real life
It's-
Robin Hood.
I
So,
genuinely agree with that. I think it might be the worst signing in football history.
Yeah.
Absolute flop without a question.
Get your bag though, King, man.
Hey man, do your thing. But let's move on next to another absolute flop in my opinion, and that is Jack Grealish to
Really?
Manchester City.
I don't think it's a flop.
100
I don't
million.
think he's a
Okay.
flop.
It's
I think
underwhelming.
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 Hey,
I don't think he's a flop.
It's underwhelming.
guys.
Yeah.
What-
Yeah.
okay,
Flop is
listen.
high.
No.
Underwhelming.
Present
No.
your case.
We have seen a record transfer get broken in the Premier League
Yeah.
that we hadn't seen before. When he was coming from Aston Villa, he was being lauded as one of the most creative players in the Premier League. The next one up, the face of England.
Yeah.
Some people were postering him up as.
Yeah. The next
The
day
way
we
we're
reckon.
looking at him now, 4 years later, bro, we're like, he shouldn't even be on Man City's bench. That decline there for me states absolute flop. Then you look at the production within those 4 years. I'll give him his dues. The treble season,
Good. Yeah, that was
he
a
looked
good
like a
season.
player.
Yeah.
But
He was
guess
alright
what?
the treble
That's
season.
what
Yeah.
the second half in particular. I thought he was really good. But that's what Man City fans expected from day 1 to season 4.
Yeah.
They only got that for about a 6 to 8 month spell. I'm sorry. That for the money that you got, the expectations that were coming in, how high you were supposed to elevate your game. People were let me not even say people. His mate, Culture Cams, was comparing him to Kevin De Bruyne.
So culture
This-
Cam's
yeah,
opinion.
culture
the
scams
on this.
Culture scams, because I know he influences your opinions as well.
Well, I'm a grown ass man.
You know, so that they be whispering to each other in the flat, like, yo, Grealish, you know what I mean? It's kind of cute, isn't it?
Nah, but do you know what it is? It's just crazy.
No, but in my opinion, I think that is like the definition of a flop signing. I don't know how you can just
I think, do you know
you could
what
say it's underwhelming because of that 6 month spell, but if you're latching onto that for a 4 year period,
I can't lie.
it's been shocking.
You've presented your case very well.
The thing
Yes,
is,
yes.
you know,
And for that reason, sir, I will be joining your side.
now for me,
Hold
I'm
on.
not.
It's business.
I'm not.
It's not personal.
Flop still. What would you say?
I say underwhelming.
I say underwhelming. And the reason why I say underwhelming, only reason why I say underwhelming is because remember, he was, like you mentioned, in that 6-8 months, that was, it's now one of the most, or the biggest historical moment for Man City. He was a big part of it in the knockout stages in that Champions League run. He was a big player for Man City with his performances. And he got them, you know, he was part of that trouble-winning team. So for me, to say it's absolute flop, I'm never going to do that, bro. I don't think I'm ever going to
But
do that.
you know,
That's massive.
can I make one? Can I make one?
You were
point, though?
talking about like defensive midfielders for that price.
Yeah.
You got an attacker.
Yeah,
You got one that was supposed to have X factor.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Grealish also.
But that's
though-
why he's
but
underwhelming,
also
because you expected
But also
that consistent.
Grealish, I can't lie. People always go at his numbers, bro. Even at Villa, he didn't have good numbers.
Yeah.
He's never
Yeah,
been a.
No.
So then, what? Like, why are we now looking at Grealish for
Do you know
numbers?
why? Because I knew that was the case. I said when he goes to City, he's just going to be another.
So it sounds like you're just like
No. You were
You were
it's not a
proven right,
vendetta
and
thing.
you want.
It's
and
not
now
a
you want to
vendetta
do
thing. It's not a vendetta thing. The thing is, it's when you go to a better team, when you're surrounded by better players, when you're coached by the best manager in the world, I expect your game to improve.
Yeah,
I
no,
expect
I
your
agree.
levels to go up.
But also, I
It didn't go up.
But I also don't.
It went down.
But also, I think Fuad, a lot of people. Okay, you can say Cam or whatever. There were some people that thought he was gonna come to City and like absolutely
Bro,
rip it
go
up.
type Grealish's name around that period of.
Yeah.
But hold on, there were also. But Fuad,
you had guys
Fuad.
changing their names to Black Grealish.
Yeah,
That's
Who's
crazy.
doing it?
That's crazy.
I
People
hear
need to
it,
gain
I
some
hear
shame. But at the same time, too, I think there were some people that also looked at Grealish. Me, I kind of thought this, and I was a
Yeah.
big Grealish fan, but also thought I don't really see how it fits at City. Like,
Yeah.
is it kind of like he's a big fish in a small pond? Can he kind of make the jump over to Pep's style of play? I think Grealish, I've always just kind of thought him as like meh at Man City. And for me, meh
Yeah.
is underwhelming.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, though, and I'm going to continue bringing it back to Pogba. Pogba had much higher highs than Grealish, bro.
Yeah.
Pogba, in my opinion, was better individually than Grealish was. But how much we valued Pogba and how high we thought he should get
Yeah.
compared to Grealish, we didn't have as much expectation for,
Yeah.
makes them now sit on the same category.
I can't lie.
You feel
I've been. I like the case you presented.
right, no.
I don't need to present the one.
No.
I like that one.
You know what it is?
You understand what I'm saying?
you're right.
I like that one.
Because we know Pogba's a better player. It's like we look
Yeah.
at his time worse. Whereas
Yeah.
Grealish,
And I like that one.
And I know we said we're not going to compare
back to
the other
underwhelming.
signings as well.
Yeah.
But I'm even just looking at the signings that are in there, in the underworld, and I'm like, he falls amongst those. Like, they've all had good spells.
Yeah.
He had a little good spell.
Yeah.
But they were ultimately underwhelming.
Yeah.
Do you know what
And
I
it's
mean?
also about-
And those flop ones are just absolute.
They're
car
like
crashes.
disasters.
They're disasters.
Yeah, Grealish is a
and he's
disaster.
not
He's just
unmitigated.
Yeah, he's not a disaster.
You know what?
He's not a disaster.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it was a little
I'll go with
vendetta
that.
thing,
Yeah,
but
yeah, for sure.
alright, underwhelming.
I
Grealish.
agree.
You got your licks in though. We understand. I
Yeah.
see you. I see you, big dog.
We taking that down next season, boy.
Don't let him end up at your club. Hey, don't let Grealish end up at your club, bro. Don't let stop laughing now. Huh? Don't let Grealish end up at your club.
Let's move on anyway. Let's move on. Antoine.
Cheeks, ass, absolute ass.
Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj,
Absolutely.
Cardi B.
Yeah.
All types of ass, man.
Cardi.
This selection here is sponsored by BBL.
BBL. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Scammer. He's an absolute
I don't even
scammer.
think we need to go in too much into
Scam
this.
artist.
This is
man.
the same era as the Coutinhos, the Dembeles, the Griezmann. Those three signings for me are what set Barcelona back 100 years.
Yes.
I feel for Griezmann here though, man, because this was the wrong signing. They should never have signed him.
Never.
Like, he was so good at Atletico.
But he's a fool for going there.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
thing. You
yeah.
was the king in that seat. You had to come back with the tail between your legs.
And they won the league
You
without
should have
him.
never gone there.
And they
Messi
won the
didn't
league
even
without
like you.
He's won the league without him.
Yeah, Atletico
didn't like you
signed
as well.
Suarez
Yeah.
and won the league without
And the
him.
worst thing about it, they send him back to Antoine. Not even return.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Cheeks, bro.
Only way to do this. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tried doing the LeBron stuff.
Yeah,
Remember?
don't get twisted. I am a fan of.
Yeah, I like Griezmann.
I like Griezmann
Great
a lot,
player,
but for
That was a dark
Barcelona,
period.
I think
Oh, the next person
was a
up.
dark
The
period.
biggest cheeks of all cheeks.
Yeah.
The biggest ass.
That's not me clapping.
That's
running in the corridors.
I absolutely hate him. He has
I haven't even said who he is. I haven't even
No,
said who he is.
I hate him.
Calm down.
I absolutely hate him. He broke my heart.
Next up
He
on the
broke my
list.
heart.
In case you can't tell,
this
it's
guy,
Eden
yeah.
Hazard.
He broke my heart.
Can you let Liban talk for this
No,
one?
you're actually so.
Because
fake.
Liban, one thing I respect a
Yeah.
lot about Liban, right?
Yeah.
I really do rate
Yeah.
this about you.
Yeah.
You're a real hater.
Yeah.
You're a real hater from day dot.
Yeah, 100%.
You stand by your word.
100%.
Honorable.
Stand on business.
Other
Yeah.
guys though, yeah?
Yeah.
They switch up.
They switch up too
bro.
much.
Yeah.
Because you see, you when
Don't tell me-
Hazard
yeah.
was still contracted to Real Madrid, you weren't talking like this. Every year it was Remontada.
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
TikTok, the TikTok with the
days
Black
are
Panther
ahead.
music in the back.
Trust me. Trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process.
Trust Hazard.
You know what happened?
Hold
Yeah.
on, one more.
These times,
I was told when he was at Chelsea,
Yeah.
his background on his iPhone was Eden Hazard
See?
at Chelsea.
See?
No, 100%.
You see?
100%.
You see?
I was the big.
Yeah.
I was
I didn't say it like it's normal.
100%.
You can't switch up now. You
I-
can't switch up now, though.
Eden, I loved him.
Yeah, of course he did.
Loved
You know
him.
that.
He's
But
so emotional.
what he said when he left Real Madrid has really and truly. I look at Eden Hazard now, bro. At Qatar,
What did you say?
we went match for hope.
When you saw him.
Eden Hazard was walking by. Well, I looked at him. Like,
No, you didn't.
I was like, Wallahi al-Azim, I looked at him and certain metal glaze. Oh, Hazard, can I take a picture? Hazard.
Name names.
I'm real. I'm real.
I respect it.
Please. Bonjour, Hazard, please. Well, I looked at him.
Hold on.
I looked at Hazard.
Liam's from D.
I looked at Hazard.
This is phase R9.
Did he touch his knees and rub himself as well?
I looked at Hazard.
Oh my god! He actually did that as well. Oh, the Draymond Green.
I looked at Hazard. Hazard came. Well, Hazard, I'm gonna be real. His expectation failed completely. But what he said pissed me off. He came out and said, "I came to Real Madrid. I never had the mentality. I never wanted to train. I went to training. I never worked hard. I looked at them. I came lazy. I wasn't prepared. I never felt I was a Galactico. They expected me to be Ronaldo, but I'm not a Ronaldo. You know what? Maybe I wasn't a Real Madrid player. Brother! What are you talking about? You know, like, where was this when he first came? Oh, I'm here to die. Even, the Remontada, where you're saying it. He came out that before the season, he said it. Oh, next season, you're going to see the true Eden Hazard. I was gassed. I was excited.
Washed up at that point.
I was
He was so washed
fell
up.
for it.
I fell for it.
Yeah, he was
But this
washed up at that
dickhead
point.
doesn't. Wallah, he's flop.
God.
Wallah, he's bigger. He's bigger. For me, he's bigger. He's worse than Antoine. In terms of, he's worse than Antoine.
He's right. No,
For me, he's the worst. He's the worst signing ever. In terms of, he has got more injuries.
worse.
He
Neymar was worse.
has got more injuries than games.
Neymar has. I don't even know what Neymar has. Bro. Put 3
At
games,
least,
bro.
at least Neymar got the money. Eden Hazard was like, when,
What? Y'all paid Eden Hazard. Don't you worry about that.
We paid. No, guess what? Guess what? We paid him.
No, he left. He decided to
We
leave
had
at
3
the end.
years left. We told Eden Hazard, brother, leave.
You,
Oh, yes,
that's
boss.
not how it
We
works.
left.
You don't tell someone they
Leave.
So
Leave.
He didn't do what Gareth Bale did.
Yeah.
He didn't do what Gareth Bale
He
did.
didn't do Gareth Bale. Mariano
He
stayed.
didn't stand on business.
He didn't stand in business.
No,
Yes,
Eden
yes.
Hazard left himself to retire, bro.
Huh?
Would you have rather he stayed 3
He
more
went to go
years?
play with Shark for match hole.
Shut it up. Sharky. Kick rocks. Sharky Mahmoud. Shamaki. He's a flop. He's a flop.
Nah, he's absolute flop, yeah.
No, I think
Eden Hazard,
put that boy in,
undisputed, absolute flop. I
Nah,
think
he's
this,
definitely above Neymar, bro. Neymar is the
yeah,
worst
yeah,
signing.
yeah,
of
yeah.
all
I'm not
time.
gonna lie to
I
you.
know.
We're not gonna spend too much time on this next one. Can you just pick Joao Felix up and just drop him at the end of absolute flop?
Nah, he's not absolute flop.
Nah, he's not the end of absolute
Nah,
flop.
nah, nah,
He
nah,
is
nah,
absolute
nah.
flop.
What, from Benfica to Atletico Madrid?
He's a flop. He's a flop.
Liban.
He's a
I don't
flop.
think he's
He's
a
a flop.
flop.
He's a
He's
flop.
underwhelming.
You like
Give
Felix,
me
though.
He's a
one
flop.
good performance he had at Atletico Madrid.
He did.
No, listen. We're not doing
One.
Hold on.
He scored against us, to be fair.
Let's
Stop.
actually,
You're not good.
No, but let's actually have a discussion. Let's actually have a discussion because with Joao Felix, bro, are we saying that he was absolutely terrible?
Yes.
He was ass cheap.
Yeah, he was.
I disagree.
He was not even.
I don't think
I just don't think.
We're doing a disservice to arses by calling him arse cheap. He's a gooch.
What is this podcast turning into?
No, he's bad. He's bad.
Crazy. He's a goose invention. Nah, I disagree. I think he has some.
No, he was bad. He was bad. He was bad. He was bad.
Can I tell you why I think
Yeah.
he's absolute flop? I
Yeah.
think the amount of times, bro, they've loaned him out and
Yeah.
got his ass sent right back there, and they can't find any.
last couple of years, though. I'd say.
What? No. Every year.
How many years do you really think Joao Felix at Atletico Madrid was like serviceable?
Yeah, I think. Do you know what it is? That's serviceable. Is meant
You
to
called him a gooch, bro. What do you mean?
serviceable. Like you, bro. You said, yeah, you're right. You said goose, bro. You can't even get onto it.
No, bro.
Do you know what it is? I think personally, I also think Atletico Madrid to begin with was a bad fit for him.
We don't care about that, though.
No, I'm just saying. I think because that has no. Because I'm saying that had
telling me
an
about
impact
fit.
on him as a player. There wasn't a real fit for him. Because we mentioned that a few times for some of the players. But like Enzo, for example, we're saying that at Chelsea, it's not a proper fit for him. Same with Joao Felix. I just don't think there's a proper fit for him in the club. I don't think
I
there's
agree
ever a
with
role. I don't think he was utilised correctly.
But
I
even
think
still,
there is
with all that,
yeah.
Liban, still, even
Yeah.
if you're not, you're not. It's not the best environment for you.
Yeah.
You can still at least contribute. The fact that
Yeah.
they literally were loaning him out because he's not like we don't even want him at the club.
Yeah.
That's not.
And it's not just
that's
that.
a bad
Yeah.
sign.
And-
I think that's more to do
it's
with
not
him
just that.
falling out with Diego Simeone.
It's not just that,
rather
bro.
than just
He-
him as a player. I think.
He
Don't you
is
think?
he is saying publicly, I don't want to go back to Atleti.
Yeah,
and
I know,
every
that's the
time he
thing, 'cause
goes to a different
he had a
club,
fallout.
Chelsea. Oh, I love Chelsea. Barcelona. I love
Yeah.
Barcelona.
Bro.
Milan. I love.
The thing is,
I
he's
think
one of
he-
those type of
bro,
players. He's
bro,
shown
let me say this
glimpses.
to
He
you.
saw flashes
He's
of his ability.
20.
I just don't think he's been able to really
You're
consistently
letting
showcase it. I
the
don't know.
little tricks on the eye
Nah,
fool you,
nah,
bro.
nah,
I'm
nah,
telling you,
there's
you
a player
cannot
there,
be
bro.
24 years old.
I don't think so.
You cannot be 24 years old and already this summer they're talking about he's going back to Benfica.
Benfica, yeah. I
Bro,
heard
you
that.
cannot be.
Saudi as well. Saudi as
That's,
well.
that's the
Liban, you know-
retirement tour you do at 32, 33, bro.
Yeah.
Can I tell you the problem with Joao Felix?
Yeah.
Because typically this is someone who people think I should like because he's so
Yeah.
nice on the eye.
That's so
the
true.
problem with, I actually don't like him whatsoever. At one point I was like you. I looked at Joao Felix. I said, "There's something there, right?"
Yeah.
Like he is a naturally gifted player, but the problem with Joao Felix, bro, he's how old is he?
24 now.
What's Joao Felix's best position? What's his
I
best
don't
role?
know.
What's his best
I
role
don't
on the
know.
football
I
field?
don't-
What's
I
his
don't
What's the
job?
thing you say?
Yeah.
Fold forward.
He's a forward.
Yeah.
No, but look, what's his job? Is
I don't
he
know,
really
genuinely.
great at scoring goals? Not really, because he doesn't
Yeah.
create that many chances. He doesn't carry the ball.
I
up that
think
well.
the position that he would probably thrive in, I think is
bench.
redundant in football is redundant, and it's that free roaming behind the striker where you just play it anywhere you
What,
want.
Dele Alli, bro?
That Dele Alli role.
No, you can.
basically.
That role still exists, bro.
I
He's
think
just
there's
not very
many-
good
no,
at
I
it,
think
bro.
there's not many teams that actually deploy that sort of role.
Or
To be
Moussa
fair.
City plays
Chelsea
kind
did
of
that
role,
when he
bro.
was there, bro.
Yeah, and
Palmer
he
was
did,
on the right.
he did quite well. In
no,
his
he
first stint, his first Chelsea
two
stint.
games where he did a couple of
well.
touches.
I thought he done all right for
I
Chelsea
found
in his
one
first stint.
against
I genuinely thought he did all right.
So wait,
I'm not against you guys putting him at absolute flop. I just think me personally, I just think it's more
That's a flop.
underwhelming.
That's
than-
a flop.
than
That's a
flop.
all three of us saying.
But you're saying you lot are saying
It's
flop,
a
so
flop.
put you
It's
might
a
as well put him
flop.
in
It's a
flop.
flop.
But no, boy,
I didn't even want to give him the airtime. I'll be so real.
Hey, put him a bit forward, further up.
Oh.
Put Neymar in the front of that queue, please.
No,
we
he's
doing?
last. He's last,
Oh,
bro.
okay,
so
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
He's
okay.
last, so
Wait, and Coutinho's in front. Get Coutinho right next
yeah,
to
put him
Neymar,
there.
man.
Put him there. That might be fair. Yeah, just around there.
Yeah.
Him
Alright,
and
You know who would
yeah,
do
that'd
really
be
well
mad.
at Joao Felix? Baller League, bro. Joao Felix at Baller League
Aye?
would be not even a bio. At Baller League,
Yeah.
You
There's
might
a lot.
have
There's
just
a lot.
faces.
There's a lot.
Sharks.
I will N5.
Yeah, there's a lot of players.
I mean, Brian Lee. That's a
Hey. Next player we're coming up to is the one and only England's greatest player, Harold Edward Kane, to Bayern Munich.
England's greatest player.
England's greatest player.
You need to take that statement
Whatever.
back.
Who's England's
Greatest ever player.
So that don't mean the greatest player.
Lukaku is
That don't mean
greatest ever player.
That don't mean.
Who's the only Englishman with a golden boot?
boot? That don't mean.
Who's the only Englishman with a World Cup golden boot?
Lineker.
Alongside him. Alongside him. Left hand shake. Stop.
Red Devils.
It's never better Wayne Rooney as well.
I'll give you that
so
one.
let's be
But
honest.
Harry Kane to Bayern Munich. Let's talk about it. 2 years there.
Yeah.
I think he's got a total of 83 goals.
Yeah. On a personal level, it's a good signing.
Yeah.
Winning the Bundesliga in your second season is the bare minimum, man. So for me, it's the bare minimum. So for me, it's a good signing, bro.
That's so funny, bro.
Wallahi, it's a good signing, bro.
funny.
You went to right, yeah. You got the second time. The first time, he didn't even.
First time we cuddled.
Hold on, where do you want him to play?
Good signing.
You want to play a good signing?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What happened?
I don't know.
What happened?
Nothing.
Okay, you say good signing.
That's a good signing.
What are you playing?
Good signing.
Hey,
way.
so
I
what?
like golden boots.
Okay, so what are we arguing for?
No, we never argued. I just made a statement. That's it.
Oh, okay. So playing a good signing.
What's
Yeah.
the worth every penny?
Huh? Win the
Deliver the
Champions
champs.
League, I think.
Deliver the champs. Play a big role in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Play a big role in winning the champs. I think that is exactly what
I
you're signing
agree.
for.
I would put Kane at the top though.
That's what.
Yeah,
Lewandowski
yeah.
came in and did.
Yeah. Put Kane at the top.
So
Yeah, you're
I
right,
think
you're
that's
right.
what they would want him to come and do ideally. But I think that's a pretty straightforward,
straightforward
one.
one, yeah.
Next up, we have
Cheeks.
Randall
Cheeks.
Killer.
Just for that miss in the World Cup final.
Well, our cheeks.
That's France.
It's got
That's
nothing
Yeah,
to do with it,
cheeks,
but I still want to put him there.
Do we want to bring up Dembele's World Cup final?
I still want to put him there.
Yeah, they don't want to bring up Dembele's World Cup. Get subbed off
Dembele's
for the
only
first half.
underwhelming anyway.
Yeah.
He's
What?
gonna go down.
Cheeks.
He's gonna go down.
Just put him last. Cheeks.
Because I actually like Kolo Muani.
Yeah.
Like I think he's decent. At Juve, I think he's doing quite well.
Yeah.
But PSG just never worked out.
Cheeks.
Never.
Bad.
So
And it's
Say
weird because you
underwhelming
think
or
like
flop,
French
though?
player going back to French
Yeah,
capital.
but it just never. And even especially the way he plays as an attacker, he's all over the front three. You would think the way Enrique plays, but
Yeah.
literally he's just not good enough for them. I can't lie.
So where would you put him? Absolute flop or underwhelming?
Absolute flop for sure.
yeah.
100%.
Next to Felix, I would say.
That's
Yeah.
harsh. But okay.
Next
Next up, we have another PSG player, and that is Neymar to PSG. Of course, we've got Neymar already in here.
Hell
The
no.
absolute flop.
Hell no.
Where are you?
Hell to the
Because
no.
this is genuinely
This is the most
one
polarizing
I've gone
one.
so
Yeah.
up and down on over time, and sometimes I look back and I'm like, oh, worth every penny.
Underwhelming.
And then there's times I look back, I'm like, ah, bro, you should have done more. So
You should have done
I think good signing, and I think had he done more and delivered those promises, worth every damn penny because they broke the absolute record for him.
And you know what it is?
I
bro?
think-
it goes back to what I'm saying about expectations. No, but also
Use
like
Pogba,
how
use the
good-
Pogba
No,
thing.
no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no, no,
use
no,
the
no.
Pogba
Because
thing,
bro,
yeah.
there's a lot of guys on this
Yeah,
list that
yeah.
never played as good as Neymar did at PSG, but because it's Neymar,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, we needed
No,
more than that.
but there
yeah.
was genuine times when you can look at Neymar. The first 6 months at
Bro,
PSG.
but you don't have to tell me.
Was
You
it-
don't have to
There
tell
was
me.
there
His
was
best ever point in his career for me came
Champions
at
League
PSG.
campaign where they got to the final.
No, you
Everyone
don't have to
talks
tell me,
about
bro.
Mbappe.
You don't have to tell me that.
Yeah, you've waxed lyrical
I
enough.
think his best period in his entire career, the best football he played was at
Was it
PSG.
6
I
months?
think so. But my whole point is
I
like,
disagree.
you think he's a better at Barca?
I think his last season, his last 2 years at Barca for me, I think that is where
For me, it's the last 6
he
months
was.
at Barca.
He
First
was
6
at a
months
level.
PSG.
No, yeah. Something like I would say last
crossover
season.
period.
That last
Because how
season
old
at
was he
Barca
when he?
for
How
me.
old was he when he joined PSG?
24.
24,
It always makes me
25.
laugh when people say he was better at Barca because how can a player? How do you honestly think a player peaked at 23?
No, I never say he peaked, but for me, it was when he at that last season Barca. Generally, I thought this is a player that's gonna go on to be Brazil's best, greatest ever.
Yeah.
That's how I looked at him.
Yeah.
And then when he went to PSG, it was kind of like for me, he stagnated. He never really went above that.
No,
He
I
just kind of. I
disagree.
think.
No,
he- I
I
think
just
he's
disagree,
I-
bro.
I-
He
I
was-
don't-
he
I
became a
think-
better footballer.
You're looking at
No,
it
I
in
think-
terms of
look,
achievement.
no.
In terms of his
Yes.
actual play,
not
he
even achievements.
definitely
He still
went
won
up levels,
trophies.
bro.
He still won trophies. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's
But
nothing
I
to
mean,
do with
in the
achievements.
Champions League was really what he was being judged on.
But for me, it was more so. Obviously, in Ligue 1, he's always gonna
but
give
Champions
you
League as well,
these
too.
incredible performances. And that Champions League when they went to the final, yes, he had an unreal run. But let's look at the time period that he was there. Let's look at the money that was spent. What was the expectation from him? He went over there to go win a Ballon d'Or. That's the whole reason why he left Barcelona to begin with. Did he ever put up performances where you thought, oh my god, this guy's gonna win a Ballon d'Or this year?
I thought he did.
But-
The problem
and-
with Mbappe, Neymar is always injured. That's the biggest issue.
And
that goes against him.
That goes part
Yeah.
of
For
the
me, look,
conversation.
I honestly think I would put him at good signing, but if someone told me underwhelming, I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't like
Hold
get
on,
mad
I
at
hear
it.
it.
Hold on. You
I
said,
wouldn't
hold
get mad at
on.
that.
You said, has there ever been a moment that you thought he would win the Ballon d'Or? His first season, you thought he would win the
He came
Ballon d'Or.
third. He came third in
He
his
came
first
third.
season, yeah.
His that World Cup. Hold on. That World Cup season, 21-22. The first 3 months before the World Cup started, and he got
Hey,
injured.
I
Brother,
remember.
that 3 months. This guy was had like 25,
This is
20,
my
30
point.
GAs.
This is the point I'm trying to make. You're literally picking. Look, the guy. How long was he at PSG for, bro? How long was he at PSG for? And you're telling me this one season, that one season, this 3 months. We're talking about a transfer fee. We're talking about the time that was spent there. Did the PSG get a good return in their investment? They didn't. Ultimately, they got him because they wanted to win the Champions League.
Some return. They didn't get the ultimate return they wanted.
But that's what they wanted, though. Ultimately, they got him in to get the Champions League.
But I can't just be like, he got it. So if he got it, would he have been worth every penny?
Okay.
Let me ask you that. Leave it. If he had won the Champions League, would he have been worth every penny?
So that final, had he missed,
because
he missed a few chances in that.
If he was consistent, if he was always available, and he was consistent during his time and didn't win the Champions League, fair enough.
But I think he was consistent. I think he was just injured.
No, yes.
Injury.
And I'm sorry, if you're going to use that
we use
availability
it,
thing,
yeah.
Gareth Bale, we overlooked that because it was
But
like,
yeah,
yo, he was
okay, but
when he
Gareth
was
Bale-
available,
but
he was
Gareth
good.
Bale made
When
it up
Neymar
with-
was available,
okay,
he was good.
Gareth Bale made it up by delivering those big moments. Did Neymar deliver that big moment in that Champions League final against Bayern?
He
had a
didn't.
stinker.
No, he didn't deliver
So
the big
we're
moment.
talking
I agree,
about.
yeah.
So we're talking about. Did they get the return in the investment? We're talking about 200. How was it? 200 million.
Something like that.
220.
Come on, bro. So you're telling me for 200 million in a player that they invested alongside with Mbappe to say we need the Champions League and never delivered it, wasn't always available. Every February he's going away to a carnival. This is the type of player we're talking about, bro. So are we really gonna say that's a good signing?
Yeah.
That is a good. I don't think so,
Bro,
Me
he
personally,
laid-
I think he's under. I think he was underwhelming. I think yes, maybe you could talk about there are sometimes his performances were consistent, but for 200 million, being the player that you were, leaving Barcelona, and what everyone expected you to be, there were talks about you being better than Ronaldinho, being Brazil's greatest ever.
And people now, if you ask them, some people would have him over Ronaldinho.
Yeah, but that's more nostalgia. I think that's more that's more romanticized. I don't think he's touches Ronaldinho in terms of legacy for me. I don't think he does. But people are gonna romanticize about him because of the player that he was, and that conversation is always gonna happen. But for me, underwhelming. For
Bro,
I can't lie to
you're forgetting, yeah.
For
You know
what was
Champions League.
expected of him,
Bro,
I don't think he
I don't
delivered
think
it,
he
bro.
did the
Go on, now let Felix go.
No.
Let Felix go.
I
Let
think
Felix
you
go.
know PSG
Yeah.
this season. You know he laid the blueprint for that.
What?
He made the bleep test.
Blueprint. He
Man,
laid it.
oi,
You know why? You know why?
Lay the blueprint.
Explain.
Hey, this guy.
No,
You know why?
I want to hear it. I want to hear your reason.
You know why? He started it.
The dynasty started after. Do you know
why?
that Draymond Green quote? What's that Draymond Green word? The dynasty
Doesn't
starts
start.
after you, bro.
No, you know why?
Not
Not
with
with
you.
you, bro.
I need to hear your logic.
You know why?
on how he started the
The person in the final scored 2 goals. What's his name?
Desiree Doué.
He joined PSG for one reason. He wants to be and follow his idol's footsteps. His idol was Neymar.
You're right. You're not wrong.
He joined Doué. Every club wanted him, but you know what he said? He said, "I want to be like Neymar. I want to join Paris Saint-Germain to do what Neymar did and to be my idol." And that's Neymar's
You're saying
impact.
his cultural impact.
Its cultural impact is on the pitch and off the pitch. It's like Ronaldo. Ronaldo, bro, the Vinny's, the Rodrigos. The impact is off the pitch. It's bigger as well, fam. Neymar.
What's that?
Yeah, Vinny, Rodrigo, Endrick, you know what I mean?
Neymar.
Neymar, bro, Doué, 2 goals. You know when he scored the second goal? You know when he took his shirt off? You know how he said in French?
It says shut your bitch ass up.
No.
That's what he said, yeah.
He said, "This is for you, Ney."
Wallahi.
No,
This
he
is
said
for-
what?
Go translate it. Go translate it.
You name.
It's not me to translate it.
No, you're French. Go translate it.
You know how desperate? Oi, this is how desperate they're getting. Listen. This is how desperate. Oi, Leah. This is how desperate they're getting.
I was with you up until
Yeah, listen. This is how desperate. Oi, this is how desperate. Oi, look, this is what I'm talking about in terms of romanticizing again. Yeah.
But no.
Look, they're trying to say Doué joining PSG. Neymar needs to receive
Big
credit,
thing,
bro.
big thing.
Look at that. Look at that.
No. Okay,
Look
listen,
at that, bro.
I can't lie.
This is how much.
No, it's a straight fact. It's
We're happening now.
a straight fact.
Hey, listen.
Doué would have never joined PSG if it wasn't for Neymar.
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 It makes it sound like there's like a hyphen between
Yeah. Neymar.
Ja
Listen.
Neymar.
100%. For that reason, it's a good sign.
For that reason, it's a good sign. Look at the excuses these lot are using, man. Hey, well, I throw him into underwhelming.
I like
no.
Neymar. I might
Good
put him
signing.
in- I might.
I think please do
You've
it,
got
man.
3 people saying good signing. Keep him in good
Listen,
signing.
I'm saying underwhelming.
How can Caicedo be above Neymar? You see what I'm talking about here, bro? Like,
How is Declan Rice above Neymar, bro?
but you
It's a
understand?
statement,
Like,
I know what you're saying.
Caicedo has not been better at Chelsea than Neymar was at PSG.
Bro, but we're talking about in respect of that transfer for that
know,
club.
I know,
Bro, let's be honest, man. Come on, man. We need to be honest, man. I love Neymar, but you have to be honest in this type of discussion. He did not live up to the expectation that we're expected of him.
Leave,
For
leave.
the fee.
Can we put him at good signing for now, and then if we want to
Good signing. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on because we've got the last couple to rattle through. I think there's about 6 or 7 players left, and some of these we're gonna probably rattle through because how long are we into the video now? We're probably over an hour.
They
and
love
a half,
these ones,
but
though.
Listen, we hope you guys are enjoying it. Let us know where you guys would rank some of these players, or should they be higher? Should they be lower? Let us know in the comments, of course. Next up,
This guy
we
is
have
this guy's
the
absolutely.
big Rom.
I think he might.
Lukaku
He's
to
the one
Chelsea.
guy that has the potential to be below Neymar.
Ooh.
No.
Let me tell you why.
Who's that?
Bro,
Who's
this guy came in and within 3 months did an interview asking to go back. Bro, no
crazy.
player has
No.
ever self-sabotaged the transfer.
That's a common misconception.
Yeah.
He says he would like to play with Lautaro again one day.
Why is he
That does
doing
not
that 3
mean
months?
I'm trying to go back
What?
right now.
Yeah.
How did people misconstrue that completely?
No,
though?
bro,
Go look
you're
it back.
writing it now, bro.
Go look it back.
I'm going to.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Stay there. I'm coming to you.
Bro,
Yeah.
I'm coming to you eventually. It doesn't mean right now.
Nah, stay
you were there
there.
for 3 months.
Have you ever called the babes and told her, "Yo, I'm gonna come link you soon"? It might not be tomorrow. It might be next month. It might be in 6 months.
This is different. That's your ex-babes, and then you.
Listen.
New babes.
Listen.
No. Inter was his ex. He then went with he settled down.
You've
for
gone
a
back to
huge-
good babes.
Not after 3 months.
Hey, I'm married.
Hey, son.
I'm married.
Same here.
I'm married.
I lie.
Yeah, I'm married.
Hey. I said allegedly. Don't kill me. Did you find the article?
Context to that interview as well.
Yeah.
He did it without the club's permission. There you go. Already is void.
There is a problem. Why are you trying to excuse this, bro?
That ain't no problem. It's a problem.
Wait. Can you just see? What did he say?
So already in this interview, he said at the time, "I'm not happy with the way Thomas Tuchel is utilizing
Yes,
me."
he said that.
That's
Okay.
crazy after 3 months, bro.
Yeah.
Now I think it's the right
Yeah,
to speak
promises
because
to
I've
you.
always.
Do
Do you remember how Thomas?
Hold
Tuchel was
on.
using him?
He says, now I think it's right to speak because I've always said that I have Inter in my heart. I will return to play there. After 3 months,
It's crazy.
he signed like a 5-year deal with Chelsea for £100 million. He's talking about, I will be back. Lautaro, wait up.
wait up,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
You ever- you ever chased the baddie for so long and eventually when you got it, you was like, hey.
I'm in love with. I'm in.
It ain't what it is.
Hold on,
It ain't
hold
what it
on.
is.
I'm in love with Italy. I am in love with Italy. This is rightly the time to talk and let people know what really happened without talking badly about people. Oh, let's keep kicking out. I want to say a big apology to the Inter fans. I really hope in the depths of my heart to return to Inter. Bro, come on, bro. What is this, man?
I swear.
I remember all that. I remember it.
After 3 months, bro.
I'm not reading all of that.
After 3 months, bro. And then he played that one season at Chelsea, then went to Inter, flopped there, then went to Roma, then went to Napoli. He's still on their
Flop
books,
the
bro.
Inter in a second.
He was not good at Inter in the second leg.
When
When he returned, they went to the Champions League final.
Oh, when he
was
returned.
Yeah.
Oh.
it was the
Bro,
Champions League debacle.
I think he might still be on their books, bro. I don't know if Napoli have fully bought him.
No, they have.
I think
Did Napoli finally buy him?
Napoli have
Yeah,
fully
yeah,
bought
yeah.
him now.
But anyways, for me, this is an F.
No, you're
Like,
right. You're right.
No,
You're right.
I don't think they
It was
have
an
them,
absolute
One of
flop.
the worst signings
In
of all
between
time.
Hazard and Neymar, though.
And
because
when you
Neymar
take expectation
still-
into account too, Chelsea, they had just won the Champions League and they bought Lukaku to almost like get them challenging for the
Yeah,
league. So
yeah,
that was
yeah,
supposed to be the final piece.
Yeah.
He had just done that thing with Inter where he was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
yeah.
That's a horrible signing.
No, I agree with you, bro. It's a disaster. He's like you said, self-sabotage.
Yeah,
He
self-sabotage,
He ruined his
man.
own transfer. So.
No, fairs.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
look, absolute flop. Let's move on to the next one, and that's Cristiano Ronaldo to Juventus.
Good
Seems like we
signing.
can't get away from
yeah.
him today.
Good signing for sure.
Good signing.
Yeah,
100 mil,
Yeah,
despite him being expected to be the guy to deliver the Champions League at that final hurdle.
Yeah, because he's still got.
That's
Still
what
probably good signing.
you guys were talking about Neymar earlier, right?
I'd put Neymar good
No,
signing.
no, I'm saying him.
No, top scorer in for Juventus.
Neymar,
Both
I'm
seasons.
sure was top scorer in
both-
Ligue 1 once.
No, both.
Nah,
okay,
he didn't play
hold
enough
on,
games.
hold on.
Are you saying what?
Both
What are you
seasons.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying he keep the same energy for Ronaldo that he
Yeah.
had for
Okay.
Neymar.
All right. So
He
let's-
had Neymar
let's-
in
okay, let's
underwhelming
talk about. No,
signings.
let's talk about it. Consistency.
Ronaldo was signed for Juve literally to deliver them the
All right,
Champions League.
Fred. All right, cool. Fred.
That's what he was
Let's
saying
talk
about
about it then. Let's talk about it then.
I'm trying to
Okay.
explain to him
No,
one
no,
second.
yeah.
Sometimes, the slow
Yeah.
students, you got to explain it to
Okay.
them before we get back.
All right.
Now let's get back.
So I'm saying,
Doesn't clock.
okay, so it's not the same because for me, consistency. We're talking about consistency. We're talking about numbers. We're talking about performances, availability, all of that. He done that for Juve. The only thing that was missing from his time at Juve is literally the Champions League. So in terms of the money that they invested, definitely they got their value. I think he gave them trophies. He was top scorer. And
For me,
he's,
it's similar to Harry Kane. It's similar
even
to Harry
even
Kane.
if you look at his number of games, I think it's like a 1-to-1 ratio
Sure,
in terms of
yeah,
games
probably.
and goals. So it's a good signing. it's not worth every
I
penny.
think it's like Kane. I think it's like Kane.
Yeah,
bro.
like Kane, exactly
Yeah.
like Kane. I think it's worth every penny. Not worth every penny because he didn't. The ultimate goal was to win the Champions League. Didn't do it, so it's still a good signing because his numbers were still ridiculous for his age. By the way, we're talking about a guy that was in his mid-30s, so 100% you have to put him in good signing.
No,
So,
I had him
try
in
that
good
one.
signing, but I just
Yeah.
wanted to hear your
Yeah,
reasoning.
so
So
there
you make
there
a fair
Come on,
case.
One
you
thing
make a
about me, I
fair
keep it
case, you make a fair
consistent,
case.
man. I keep
You
it
make a fair
consistent. I
case.
keep it
I like-
consistent.
Next up, we have Mr. Antony dos Santos Aveiro Nascimento.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's
It's
his
not
name,
enough
by
to
the
put
way.
this guy in jail. He needs
Yeah.
to be put under the jail. He needs to be put under the
Under the
jail.
jail is crazy.
Yo,
Under the jail.
That is
put
insane.
Anthony an absolute flaw, man.
Yeah, absolute flop, bro. I don't even want to talk about him, to be honest with you.
I mean, he got Betis to a
Like,
Conference League
lower.
final.
No. Come on, okay, not under.
Yes,
behind
under
there.
Neymar. Lower.
Put him,
They
put
said
him
under the jail and under
Whoa,
Neymar.
whoa, whoa, whoa. What's
Hello.
Lukaku doing
Whoa,
below
whoa,
Neymar?
whoa.
Hazard, fam.
Alright,
Put Hazard below. Hey, put Hazard below Lukaku, fam.
Whoa. Alright, put Antony ahead of Hazard. Wallah. Come on, what the fuck?
Yeah, bro.
Wallahi, bro.
And should I put Lukaku? Yeah, bro.
Oh, Hazard ahead of Lukaku.
No.
Lukaku, 3 months.
No,
Come
no,
on,
no,
come on.
no,
No, go
no,
put it
no,
back.
no,
Go
no,
put
At
it
least,
back.
bro, at least Lukaku scored in the first couple games.
Leave it as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next,
crazy.
we are moving up to Gonzalo Higuain.
Good signing.
Oh, good signing.
Yeah,
Gonzalo
Yeah.
Higuain.
Very
Yeah.
underrated time.
Is that, wait, who's that?
I think I would
Is
say
that Napoli or Juve?
Juve.
Big
Oh,
machine.
oh, very
yes,
good
to
signing.
Juve.
Yeah.
Very good signing.
First 18 months, I would say was of that same Napoli level,
Yeah.
but dropped off dramatically after that. Does that impact
You know what it is?
and make
No,
it
no.
a little bit underwhelming in
You know-
terms of? I think obviously when Ronaldo came, that shifted
That's the thing.
the
When-
goalpost
when
completely
Ronaldo came.
for him.
Yeah.
But that was also the case at Real Madrid. If I'm not mistaken.
But that 16
when
that
Ronaldo
16,
came, he was the one that was impacted. And
No,
kinda
his
got
last
pushed
season at
aside.
Napoli, he
That
was
16-17 season when they won the title.
Yeah.
Very good.
That was his first year.
Champions League final as well.
Champions League
Big
final
goals
as well.
along the way.
Unbelievable. So I just off of that season alone, I would have him in good signing. I'll be so real.
Yeah, and
But
even
then
when
off of that
Higuain
season-
came back from,
Yeah.
remember?
Chelsea?
wait.
Bro, he got this shot to
Hold
Chelsea
on,
on
hold
loan. He got
No,
this
but
shot
then
to
when he
Milan
came
on
back, from all those loans. There was this one season he returned to Juve and almost played like alongside Ronaldo. He wasn't wearing number 9 anymore.
Yeah.
He was actually pretty good for them that one season as well too.
Champions League final.
Yeah, 16-17.
16-17 when
He was
they
part
were
of that team.
against the purple kit.
He didn't start.
Yes, he did,
Yes.
bro. He's the one
Oh,
who scored the
you-
winners against Monaco, bro. Remember?
Yeah.
He started the final against
I
us.
believe so. Yeah.
I don't know if he
32
started.
goals.
Yeah, they
I
said-
know
I remember it was
Mandzukic
Mandzukic.
started.
No, Mandzukic played on the left
Mandzukic
wing.
played
Yeah,
Mandzukic
Mandzukic
was
played
on the
left,
wing.
he scored.
Dybala
Yeah,
on the
he
right.
did, he's right.
Oh yeah,
He did.
He had 2 years before Ronaldo
Yes,
came.
yes.
Yeah, good.
Just off that season alone.
Good.
I'm
Yeah, I
happy
think
with
he's-
the
yeah.
signing, bro. Yeah, for sure.
Good signing.
32 goals in his first season,
Yeah.
23 goals in his
Yeah,
second
that's still
season.
a good return, bro.
I'm not mad at that.
Who's the last
Yeah,
one?
good return.
Neymar to Barcelona.
Oh, that's worth every
The
penny.
next one
Worth every penny.
is
Wow.
yes, Neymar to Barcelona from Santos.
Yeah, that one is worth every penny.
Fair to
Oh,
say?
you know what?
That one is
Okay,
worth
tell
every
me
penny.
why he's worth.
No. The better debate should be. Okay, we all agree it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
What about this? Him or Bale?
Oh, nah,
I think that's the-
for me. That's a good conversation.
Hey, it's uncomfy, low key.
That's a good.
That's the debate.
conversation.
That's the debate.
Woo! Now you're cooking. Whoa! Now you're cooking. Oh.
Neymar was better at Barcelona.
Yeah. I think for sure. I would put Neymar, but yeah,
Was
ahead.
better, but Bale had more clutch
Moments. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Bale had
So
more
it's
clutch.
But and that's why. What do you value the most?
Hey.
I mean, hey, that bicycle kick in the Champions League final, I'll
Hey.
take
You know
that
what it
over
is?
anything.
Remontada.
This is
Ain't nobody had a performance like Remontada performance.
You know what it is though? Neymar's a better player than Bale, so
Yeah.
of course he's going to be better than Bale. But who? Yeah, he is a better player than Bale. Come on. But my question is like, who was a better investment? That's really what should be the question. Because in terms of performances, Neymar's always going to be better than Bale, bro. You
I
understand
got
what I'm saying?
Neymar.
Cool.
I got Neymar.
What's the,
You think so?
I say Neymar.
I say Bale.
I think Neymar's a better investment.
I say Bale just because in the clutch
Only
moments.
gave them 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
4 years.
4 years?
But it was like 4
That was great years.
incredible years, bro.
4 incredible years.
A
bro.
2 even better.
Yeah.
Like MSN.
Alright, Neymar or Jude?
No.
Yo, stick to the topic.
No,
Let's
no,
not.
no, no.
These are uncomfortable
No,
conversations.
no,
I don't
no,
know
no,
like
no,
having,
no,
man.
no,
I still think-
Nah,
I
not
still
Jude, not
think-
Jude, not Jude.
Ronaldo.
Tranquilo.
I'm where we want to go with this shit, man.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna still go with Bale. Obviously, I think Neymar is the better player, but I'm gonna go with Bale because bro,
There's
I'm mad at it.
investment.
it's the investment. Talk about the investment, return on investment. I think Bale
Investment.
for the moments, clutch moments. Yeah,
Let's vote.
yeah, worth every penny.
You're saying no. Neymar or Bale?
I'm saying Bale.
Neymar.
Neymar's a better player, but investment, Bale.
I say Neymar, so we're tied.
tied.
So leave as is. Hasib,
yeah.
you want to give the deciding vote? Bale it is.
Why are we letting this guy deciding?
No.
Hey, respect production, man.
Channel manager, man.
Come on, man. Respect production.
Put the shorts in the bag, man. Seriously.
Respect.
He just said put your shorts in his bag. Hey, he said put your shorts in his bag, by the way.
I didn't. This guy's tapped today, bro. I can't lie. He's moving tapped.
Rewind the episode 10 seconds ago.
I said put the shorts in the bag, man.
What did he
The shorts, the
what did I say?
YouTube though. He said put your shorts in the.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad, G.
I said put your shorts. I was like, I did not say that.
Shorts. I was like, yo, you just come back from gym. They're sweaty.
Crazy.
Why would you want them?
Hey.
But let's move on anyway. Gvardiol to Manchester City. This was a huge one.
Low
This is
key.
a defenders one.
Low key.
Are you bet?
Wallahi, low key. Worth every penny.
I like where you got.
Wallahi, worth every penny. I can't lie to you.
Okay.
Wallahi, worth every penny.
ready.
I can't lie. I told
signing
you.
for me.
No,
Good
explain it. Explain it.
I think worth every penny. If you're given his age, what he's already contributed to Man City, and what his potential is going to be in terms of. Remember, he's only what 22. What 22?
He's young.
Yeah.
He's
very
young. And he's built like a flipping tank, bro. And in terms of some of the goals he's been scoring for City, wallahi, it is unreal. How many match winning goals has he scored? Right foot, left foot, bins,
bangers.
Nah, alright, if you give me a set of, as a defender doing all of that for you, yeah, nah, for me, I can't lie to you, bro. Worth every penny.
Question though, is that what you signed him for?
What?
The
Okay,
goals.
but even
Because I'm
defensively,
thinking,
what
if we
saying
were
is-
judging him as a left winger,
Yeah.
worth every penny.
So you say defensively he's not great.
I think defensively there have been moments he's got at left back. I
Especially
think
last
when he's
season.
moved to centre back in the second half of the season,
But how
I
many
actually
roles has this
I
guy
actually thought he
played,
was
bro?
good. I actually thought he was really good.
For Man City. How
No,
many
he played
different
2 roles, centre back and left back.
Centre back, left
Yeah.
back. They've even sort of trying to push him up slightly
To the left wing.
Come on, bro.
I hear it.
And let's be honest, there was a time where this guy was inevitable.
Worth
there was
every-
that one
no,
patch
but the
where
thing is-
he was
No, but the
inevitable,
thing is-
bro. He's coming up in every big moment.
Come.
I'm
But
like, what's
the thing
going
is,
on?
when I hear worth every penny and I look at the players we've got in there, those are players who are superseded
chill,
what
chill.
their price tag is.
Yeah.
Gvardiol for me has been a
Nah,
good player.
I can't lie.
He has delivered some
can't lie.
moments that are
Chill.
above what his
I can't
fee
lie.
is, but there are also moments where he's kind of. I remember Kulusevski bucked him. And he.
How much did they sign him for? by the way?
Hey,
How much did he sign
the things he did to him were
90
unspeakable.
something.
Huh?
92 million, I want to say, around there.
Worth every penny.
Liban, chill.
Worth
I
it.
think
I'm
you're going
telling
crazy
you,
here.
for the transfer,
trying to
remember,
hear you
we're
out.
not comparing him to people. We're not.
No, we're
comparing
not.
him- We're
But I have
looking
to
at
look
his
at the
transfer.
category.
Liban,
This
can I
is
ask
one
you
of
a
the last
question?
two.
Can I ask you a question? What if Gvardiol next season falls off a cliff and then we never see him get back to that same
Yeah,
level?
but if buts.
No,
and
but
maybes,
no,
I'm
no,
judging
but
based on
your
what-
your
yeah.
thing is also a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes because of his age and his potential.
Yeah, but we're judging the transfer though, right?
Yeah, but we're also
So
judging
far.
the 2 years so far. Is it not fair to say so far it's been a good signing, and if he
No,
continues
it is
and
fair.
he's a
It is
stalwart for
fair.
City going
No,
forward
no,
for the next
no.
8 years, then he's worth every penny.
No, don't get twisted. I am getting a bit. I know that what I'm saying is a bit. I'm getting carried away, but I genuinely do think by the time he leaves Man City,
I think, yeah, he could
we're
very
gonna-
well go
we're
down as a
definitely
legend.
gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
that he's worth every.
And I think
penny
he's
for
actually
sure.
going to be a center back for
Yeah.
them going forward, which I
Yeah,
think is
yeah,
his best
no,
position.
so for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy to put him in good signing, but I'm
Yeah.
saying,
I know, I agree. I think
I'm
it's
saying it
terrific.
from now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying from now. By the
He's
time he
unreal.
leaves Man City, he will be a player that we say is worth every
chill,
penny.
chill,
He's
chill.
unreal.
Yeah, chill.
For me, yeah,
Turn it into a spoiler at the
Yeah,
end.
no, because for me, no, it's a spoiler. I'm telling you,
He's not allowed to say this, man,
No,
man.
listen, I'm telling you. Like, remember,
After you're saying
I'm a United fan.
Mbappe top 10 because of what he could end up being.
Yeah.
Maybe saying he's looking like Gvardiol's ugly brother anyway,
Yeah.
so it doesn't even matter.
No, never said
Crazy.
that. I don't
I ain't never heard someone say that about Paris, man. I look, you
Crazy.
see it now.
New one.
never said that.
Oh shit!
But the next person,
Hey, the last
worth
but not least.
every penny.
Cap, number 29, Mr. Kiki.
Kiki,
Kylian Mbappe.
worth every
PSG.
single
to
penny.
PSG, not to Real Madrid.
returns, man. Go ahead.
Worth every single penny.
Talk to me.
PSG all-time goal scorer.
So,
Does he leave PSG as their greatest player ever?
Brother,
don't disrespect Zlatan. Don't disrespect Cavani.
Hey,
Cavani,
Hey, bro, that's it.
Cavani high,
Hey, early days Ronaldinho.
Zlatan high,
Pastore, Lucas Moura, right? Nene,
Cavani high,
Nene. He planted seeds.
Javier.
nah, I'm gonna shake your hand for that one.
Hey, listen,
That's a real one right there.
Hey, come on, man. What is it? Jeremy Menez.
Fun's over.
Hey,
You
Jeremy
shut your
Menez.
filthy mouth.
Jeremy Menez. No, I said Jeremy Menez. Jeremy Menez. Menez. Come on, man.
But what are you saying?
It's worth
Worth every penny.
Worth every single. Come on, let's be real.
Nah, he is their greatest
worth
ever
every
Ronaldo
penny.
side,
Yeah.
The impact, the performances, bro.
He kicked Neymar out.
Let's not waste any time. Man. Let's just put him. Let's put him.
Let's
on
be real.
Yeah.
Good signing, bro. Good signing. He might be the best of the bunch, so he might be ahead of Harry. He'll be ahead of Harry Kane, but he's not.
Liban, I know it's
worth
12.
every penny.
I know it's 12 a year.
It's not worth every penny, man, and I'll tell you why, bro. Again, it comes back to that conversation. What was his job? What was he brought to PSG to do? Win the Champions League for them. Yeah. From a commercial aspect, by the way, in terms of global brand for PSG, unreal. Like I think his profile specifically, being the Wonder Boy, winning the World Cup,
he became a global sensation.
And that I think that helped PSG elevate. You got the Jordan deal and all that. That's because of him, not because of Neymar. I think it's generally because of Mbappe. So in terms of a commercial aspect, I think he done wonders for PSG. In terms of you got girls wearing PSG kits at motives and you know.
I don't think that's because of him. That's because of Jordan.
I'm saying though, the Jordan deal comes about because of.
I don't think so. I think it's because Paris. I don't.
So why did it end when he cut?
Why
did the Jordan deal cut? The partnership cut.
Has it ended?
It ended. They said okay, PSG. They were like Jordan. Were like okay, we're stopping
this season. They haven't won any Jordan.
Listen, no, this is the last season. No, this is the last season. This is the last season. They ended the Jordan partnership. So this is the last season they wear Jordan.
Time, man. They should have kept it one more year, bro.
So what I'm saying to you is that I definitely feel like he helped it. But on the pitch, I think yes, in the league. Numbers.
That's not true. They literally have a Jordan kit, the blue one, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
This is
the
one.
last season. They had it.
So because they had a contract, bro.
Yeah, but that's my point. Why they don't renew the contract? Mbappe not there.
So Liban just
Mbappe's not there.
Made it so like
Mbappe's not there. No, that's what I said.
Wait,
this is the last season.
Champions League one. You know the Champions League one. That's the one.
That's the blue, the Jordan. Yeah, I said this is the last season.
Are you sure about that?
Check.
And by the way, that would have been a contract.
Check. No.
Numerous years.
Check. Go on. You can check it right now. You can fact check it. So my point is, on commercial aspect, I think he done wonders for them. I think he
on the pitch as well.
Individually, he did well. That's what I said. Individually,
the amount
that's what I'm saying. Coming to that now. Also on the pitch,
They extended it.
domestically.
I just see you might have to edit that whole part.
2027. End of 26-27.
Oh wait.
Liban just making it.
What is he talking about? What is he talking
What
about?
financial times are you reading?
Man.
No.
It's because of that Champions League win. But listen, they just extended because of that Champions League win. They said, wait, we want to hold our
They
bag.
had numerous Jordan
We
kits.
want to hold our bag.
Pink one was
Listen,
also
they did
Jordan.
end it though. They did end it just to let you know. They actually ended it. Check, you can check.
Hey.
They ended it. So my point
leave
is
it.
that Champions League win is that Champions League win. I clocked it. Jordan, the host. But listen. So the host. Listen, I clocked it, man. They just saw the. You won the Champions League. We're gonna stay. That's what they did. But anyway, I'm talking about domestically. Unreal. Never won the Champions League. Ultimately, that was the goal. And even the last 2-3 years. The 2 years, I'll say, last 2 years at PSG, since when he did that whole transfer saga with Real Madrid, made a whole scene out of it, then decided to stay at PSG. Let's be real. That last 2 years, bro, underwhelming, bro.
Wait.
Even in the Champions League,
Get him.
they got you Messi.
I can't lie.
They got you Sergio Ramos. They got you Donnarumma. They got you your boyfriend Hakimi. They got your boyfriend Hakimi for you.
You know what?
Get him.
That is.
Hold on.
That's
How
the
many
casual
pieces?
You
talk.
had your goal.
Hold on.
It's my turn.
No, hold on. I'm gonna let you know. But man say this, bro. Never ever have you seen a player become the director of football, the director of football at the club, demand transfers, get his transfers, and still did not deliver the Champions League. So unfortunately,
all
sorry, bro,
narrative.
you are not worth every penny.
You know-
You robbed your club.
This is
okay,
all
and
narrative.
then went on a free transfer away from the club. You are a good signing.
This is
There you go.
all. This is all narrative.
That's it.
This is.
Well, I didn't have to. What did the Champions League when he
This
left
is
as
all.
well?
This is.
Get out of here,
Listen.
man.
This is all
Get out of
narrative.
here, man.
You know what? Right
Nepotism.
now. You know
I
right
don't
now
know
what you are.
narrative. Oh.
Right now you are literally a Twitter troll.
I'm a Twitter
You
troll.
are a Twitter troll.
From the
You
kick of
are-
the.
You are a Twitter troll. You know what it is? You know what it is?
What's that?
You know, Twitter. Wallah. He's such a.
I know that anyone I think it is.
Don't let him distract you.
Twitter troll. I know that anyone I think it is.
You had your turn. It's my turn.
Such a Twitter troll, yeah. Keep talking about he never won the Champions, never won the Champions League. They brought you Messi, they brought you thing. You do know every season, yeah, he contributed in the Champions League. Real Madrid, 16. The season that you say. I will tell you. No. The thing is, you showing me right now. You don't watch Paris Saint-Germain. You don't watch Kane and Mbappe.
Hey, you had your turn.
Yeah.
Stick to Man United. Stick to.
Europa.
He doesn't even watch Man United. He's sleeping. My brother. The thing is, yeah, every season he's showing up in the Champions League. Real Madrid, the season that you say the last 2 years disappointing, he scored. in the first leg. He scored in the second leg. But the person you said, they gave you Messi.
Oh,
No,
so
listen
that's
again.
what we're doing now. We're taking out context now.
wait.
He scored. Okay, go on, finish it.
Listen.
Go on.
You said he never brought you a Champions League. He never stepped on the Champions League. That is incorrect. That is false. The 2 legs he scored against Real Madrid. You said he brought you Messi. Why didn't he deliver? Messi missed a penalty against Real Madrid. The Neymar one you can have. I agree with you. In terms of Champions League, got injured in every single knockout. You can't say that about Mbappe. Mbappe's got the most Champions League knockout goals since. I'm not done. Since Ronaldo and Messi. Since 16, 17, no player in the Champions League knockout has got more goals than Mbappe. Every ground he scores. Bayern. Guess what? You know what he said about he gave you Neymar and Messi. Messi was there. Neymar was there. Allianz Arena. They didn't score. Mbappe, 50%, came off the bench, scored. They needed Mbappe. The thing is, no. You know where it's right now? The thing is, he's throwing this gimmick. Oh, yeah.
No.
Because
He's
got no cases.
No cases.
He's got no arguments.
All right, cool.
He's right now saying to himself, shit, I regret going 1-1.
Whoa, no, that's
I should have done my research.
Listen.
I feel sorry for
guys that try to declare their own wins before they've even got their win. So listen, hear this. We're talking about Champions League, yeah? First of all, I'm not even going to mention it. You know what? I couldn't even be petty and be like, the final against Bayern Munich, he didn't even perform well. That's a fact. He didn't even perform well. So let's forget about that. The season when they got knocked out at Dortmund in the semi-final, yeah? That season, prior to... Hold on. Oh, he was bad throughout the knockout stages, in my opinion. He was bad.
Barcelona scored a hat-trick.
Hold on. Dortment. Let's talk... Listen.
Scored a hat-trick in Barcelona.
Okay, we want to talk about...
2 years.
That Faisal,
I know 2 goals. That game
Faisal,
that took him to against Dortmund scored 2 goals.
Faisal,
2 goals. The year before was hat-trick.
Faisal.
That wasn't the year before.
Listen. Faisal, we want to talk about career-defining moments, or even defining moments in your club's history. We're talking about Mbappe in that Champions League run. Yeah, when they got knocked out to Dortmund, he literally held the club hostage that summer and said, "I need X, Y, Z to come to the club. Otherwise, I'm not staying." Literally, yeah? They got him his friend Dembele. He's already got certain pieces that he already wanted at the club.
He gave him the piece that...
Hold on. Dortmund, yeah? We're not talking about... This is not 2013 Dortmund. It's not Lewandowski, Mario Götze. This is Jadon Sancho that's on loan after a horrible time at Man United.
He was cooking.
But that's not my point. That's not... What I'm trying to say is you got Mbappe against Jadon Sancho. You got outshined. You got outshined by Jadon Sancho off the back of him coming out of Man United. Get sent to the mountains at Man United. He's gone over there at Dortmund and outshined him. Yeah, in a semi-final across both legs. And you want to talk about he got this.
Yeah, you're missing the easiest layup of all time, bro. The fact that they sold him and they won the Champions League.
I already mentioned that.
Every player. No, hold on.
Why do PSG look better without him? Why have they now gone on to win the Champions League without him?
Can I ask one question though? Listen.
Don't come here without nonsense about you don't work Paris Saint-Germain. Clearly you don't. You ugly bastard. Shut your mouth, man. You shut your mouth.
You can tell. No. The moment someone goes outside of football, you know he's defeated.
You started.
The moment someone goes outside of football, you know he's defeated. You know he's defeated. Did I mention? No. You went. Did I mention you've got big forehead? No, I didn't. Even though it's true. Did I mention you are literally shit? No, listen. I mentioned that. I don't want personal, but the moment someone goes outside of football,
you said Twitter troll. You said I only watch Man United. You said I don't watch Paris Saint-Germain. You took it there.
Paris Saint-Germain. It's Paris. Listen.
No, you're gonna tell me about it. Neymar. Shut up, bro. You idiot.
Listen.
Neymar.
Yeah. I'm a bit wrong.
We gotta end the episode.
No. Every player. No. You are just looking at. You just put emphasis on the one game against Dortmund. You know every player in that.
Oh, but you ignored it. You don't want to talk about that. You tried to ignore that whole Champions League campaign. You tried to literally leave it out of your speech. You flipping joke, motherfucker. Come there. I slap you.
I know. Yo.
I was rattling to say something.
Brother. No. Listen. I know the tattoos. Chill.
Oh, this is getting crazy. Are we interrupting something?
No. Stop.
Final point.
Listen. Every player in that top category, they've always had bad knockout. Ronaldo. You know, people never talk about Ronaldo against 12-13 against Dortmund. But that's the thing. But no. Okay, this is a team achievement. Ronaldo, okay, I'm not denying Ronaldo, Jude, everything. You put emphasis on what you just said about Dortmund. Why are you not looking emphasis on the other side? The Bayern, he was the only one that stepped up, but his teammate let him down. Real Madrid, he stepped up against, but the team let him down. Barcelona, the curve, every season.
So he never let himself down. No accountability for himself.
Brother, you are looking at what? Just because he never won in the Champions League, it doesn't mean he was
But we're talking about discussion here. Worth every penny. So is he
because
worth every penny?
because
though? He didn't win the Champions League.
listen to me. Because every season that he's been there. He's been delivering. Every season's been 40 goals and above.
But the one season where he had the best opportunity.
Can you let me finish?
He didn't deliver.
Can you let me finish? Why do you love me? The thing is, he asked me a question and then answers himself. What kind of debate is this? You are a teacher.
You're being selective.
So what? When you teach a student, do you ask them and you answer them? That means every student's failing because of you. What's wrong with you? Get out, man! Get out! Get out, man!
Hey, this guy's shouting. Hey.
Get out, man!
Hey,
I am so sorry.
This guy,
we have almost lost control. Hey, we're wrapping this up.
Why did he be selected? That's what I don't understand. Why did he be selected?
No. Let's go around the table very quickly. Where do you put Kylian Mbappe?
Good signing.
Good signing. Liaz.
I fucking don't know.
Faisal.
Worth every penny.
I'm saying worth every penny as well. Liaz, you're the deciding vote.
Between both, man. Seriously.
You gotta make a vote.
Come on, man. Be serious, man.
Don't let it go to the sleep again.
Be serious, man.
Nah, he should be worth every penny, bro. He's not in the same category.
There we go.
He's not
Worth
the same category
every
as
penny.
Caicedo, bro.
Put him
How shocking
in.
is that? I see, but how shocking is that? That's shocking, man.
Look.
That is shocking.
We've
He can't
made
be the
our
same category
picks
as
now.
Caicedo, bro. I'm sorry, like, that's the rights. There's no way.
We've made
He has
our.
to be. He's the best
Stop,
of the bunch.
stop.
Put him in front of
Aye.
Harry Kane.
We've made our picks
That's
now.
horror, man.
It's locked in. As you can see on your screen, this is where we have ranked top 25 most expensive transfers according to Transfermarkt. Got to put that in. But let us know. Would you move players up? Would you move players down? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're back very soon because we have plenty more of this table coming up. So
feel like we
please
interrupted
join us on the next one. Till next time, take care.